Would day?
Greek. Am I live?
Start your part of the investigation.
Well, start the investigation as soon as.
Am I live? Okay, it says I'm live. I don't know if you guys can hear me. The chat isn't updated. This is kind of impromptu. But we got to talk about this trial. It's absurd. Daryl Brooks is representing himself in the trial, and I haven't really been watching anything more than the clips. But we're gonna talk about it. Just give me 1 second. All right, so here's the deal. Daryl Brooks is defending himself in his trial. I am shocked and horrified, but also wildly entertained. So I decided, very impromptu, like I legit just made a thumbnail, to go over his cross-examination because, oh my God, this guy. So I'm going to pop that up. Maybe I'll have some guestesses on the stream to talk about it, but you have to see it for yourself. Like, holy crap. Let's find the tab. Okay. So this is it. It's on Law and Crime. Don't copyright strike me. Let me know if you guys can hear. So that's Brooks right there. And he is...
You made reference to a report. Do you recall when you...
So for those of you who don't know the background, Brooks is apparently a sovereign citizen. He doesn't answer to his own name. And he's now cross-examining a cop and asking insane questions.
I have no idea what day I submitted the report.
I'm also going to invite Alf. Hold on. I'm going to invite Alf.
So when you were first dispatched, what did you do?
So if he's actually when the other guy's testifying, Brooks is just objecting to everything, and now this is Brooks's cross-examination.
And were you dispatched to any location from that point?
I was not dispatched.
Were you sent to any location from that point?
I can't really turn up the volume that
I was
much.
assigned with taking a number of investigators with myself and walking the entire parade route, going from establishment to establishment, bar to bar, restaurant to restaurant, and obtaining phone numbers and names of people who were present at the
Yes,
parade.
he's representing himself, and now he's cross-examining the cop.
Followed up with later.
And he won't even accept being called by his own name. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that this was like a case involving the death of a bunch of people. Ooh, captions. Smart idea, whoever that was.
Yes.
Do you recall how many?
No.
Uh-oh. Lag.
And after conducting these interviews, what did you do?
Can you guys really not hear the audio?
I went home.
So at that time, after conducting your interviews and then going back to your home, did you have the name or ID of any suspects at that time?
Yes.
And whom were you told by?
I recall.
Who were you told by? So he'll say off the wall stuff like, oh, the name that you referred to the defendant by and whatnot, because he doesn't respond to his own name. And this is like a major issue for the case for him. It has nothing to do with his guilt or innocence, but it's a major issue for him. I don't think Wisconsin has the death penalty. I like how he has the banker box next to him. Like, it looks real official. I use those boxes to move my girlfriend from one
Do
apartment
you
to
recall
another.
who you submitted your typed report to?
Who'd you submit your report to?
I don't understand your question.
Do you recall who you submitted your typed police report to?
No,
I'm assuming your law enforcement agency doesn't type up reports and just leave them sitting on the desk. Would that be fair to say?
that'd be correct.
Then
Any
who'd
reason why
you?
you wouldn't recall who you gave your report to?
Well, it's electronically submitted.
Wah wah.
And from there, does it have a specific sergeant or lieutenant or captain or someone that it goes to from that point? If you recall, or if you know.
I wouldn't know.
So it'd be fair to say once you type a report and submit it, you're not sure who sees it.
Who's seen the report?
Correct.
Would you say it's fair that because of you not knowing who your report is submitted to, that your report can be altered in some kind of way?
Oh, got him. Got him.
Especially being that you don't know who sees it.
Yeah, you don't know who sees it, bro.
The reports are done via PDF style reporting.
Oh, Alpha's here. Let me bring him up.
Protected by my username and my password.
Hey, Alpha.
It's
Yep. What's up? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, can you hear of the
Okay.
trial?
not altered.
Yeah, I hear it.
He's saying that this guy altered his report.
Oh my god. That this cop altered his report?
Yeah. You might want to like turn down
But
your
it
mic
is
a
fair
tiny
to
bit.
say that there's a possibility
hear it
that it could be tampered with because you
Is that
don't
better?
know for sure who all
Yeah.
sees it.
You don't know for sure who all sees it.
Who all sees it?
How
Oh
so?
my god.
My report.
Yeah, they're saying you're
is
coming in
accurate.
real hot.
My report is
Okay.
the way that it was written, the way that I wrote it myself.
So you've had a chance to read your submitted report after you submitted it,
Yes.
and to the best of your knowledge, is exactly word for word.
He's on trial
as
for
you
like
remember
4
typing it?
counts of murder, and this is what he's asking questions
Yeah.
on.
And he's arguing
This is
about
my-
what the
this is
report
my
said.
report. This is what I typed. and it is
Not even what it says. He's like, did you see
Oh,
it?
Word
that
for word.
alter it, yeah. Did you see it to know if it was altered or not?
Do you
Wait till
recall
Kim
how many
Kardashian tries
pages
to get
long
this
the
guy out of
report
prison.
was?
Objection, relevance,
Grounds.
sustained.
No, not because his name's not alliterated. So she's not even gonna bother.
So if you notice him saying grounds after she says the reason why, the reason she says the reason why so quickly is because he keeps saying grounds after every objection because he saw that on one episode of Law and Order.
Do you recall if the report was
Like,
lengthy?
what does that even mean?
Objection, relevance,
Grounds.
sustained.
What are you saying, bro?
Next question.
He's
Grounds
asking for the
versus
grounds for the objection.
Oh, what are
Relevance.
the ground? Relevant. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Also, he's got to look through his notes now to see how relevant it is. Where did I write down the relevance of this?
Oh, he asked for the reason I decided to watch this trial is he recently asked for all the
And you
jurors to be
stated that
tested
you
for
read the
COVID.
report after
Oh my
you
God.
submitted it. Do you know how long it was before you were able to see the report that you typed?
Objection, relevance,
Grounds.
sustained.
He's
Yeah,
asking for
right.
grounds
Right.
after she says why.
Yeah.
The
No,
grounds
that's
is
just asking
relevant.
answer,
Yeah, the
John.
grounds is relevant. You already said it.
Sustained.
But he's also asking that, like, if you saw it after it was
That
typed
question
out,
wasn't
like,
answered.
it's so ridiculous.
They're framing him, obviously.
Yeah.
It was the SUV that did it. The media was right all along.
Nice.
Yeah, he jumped out of it before it even hit anybody.
Somebody's like, he convinced me he's innocent. Oh my god. This is so wild. Like, it's such a serious case, and the fact that he decided to rep himself is so
Do
outrageous.
you recall when when you typed your
Reminds
report.
me of that guy.
Objection,
Or pause it for a
relevance.
second.
Grounds.
Or is it live, right?
Sustained. Not relevant.
But remember that guy who was what was that guy that
How's
represented
that
himself?
not
Devin Covenant
relevant
with the funny
if
hair.
he already answered that he typed the report?
What was the question?
That guy, remember that guy with the funny hair that was
Continue,
representing
sir.
himself? I think
Yeah,
Devin Covenant, you covered
the
it too.
Dragon Ball
Grounds
Z hair
sustained.
guy.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it makes me think of. That guy was nuts.
He answered that he typed the report. So how's it not relevant if he recalls when he typed it?
How is it not
Continue, sir.
relevant?
You got to be kidding me.
You got to be kidding me. You hear him. He's trash talking. It's wild.
It's funny he's saying it under his breath, but you can still hear him. It's like, you got to be kidding me.
Oh, the evidence will show. Somebody remembers that case too.
Yeah. Yeah.
That case was
wild.
really scary because he was like his son was a key witness and he was questioning
Right.
him.
Right, that was
Following
sad.
claim related to this matter?
No.
Do you know if anyone who did?
The cops reacted like, no, what are you talking about?
Could that?
Are you
Do
trying to
you
sue
know
me?
Of anyone who filed a claim in relation to this incident?
No.
Objection,
Do you know who the plaintiff
relevance.
is in this incident?
Objection,
Grounds.
relevance.
I told you it's
Well,
Can you
coming.
answer that question?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Definitely.
Yes.
What are the grounds? Like I just said.
Do you know who the plaintiff is in this incident?
Who's the plaintiff? Get ready for it.
Well, plaintiff would be the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Is the state of Wisconsin a human being?
Objection,
Grounds.
relevant. Sustained. Irrelevant.
What?
Have you ever
is the
had
state of
any
Wisconsin?
interaction with the plaintiff in this incident?
Objection,
Grounds.
relevant,
Have
legally
you ever had
inaccurate.
interaction with
Grounds.
the plaintiff?
Sustained
That's
is the
crazy.
form of
He works
question.
for the plaintiff.
Were you ever contacted by the plaintiff in this incident?
Same objection.
Were you ever contacted by
Oh my
Wisconsin, the
Why
state?
Wisconsin? He should say yes. He should be
Same
like,
is the
yes,
form
that's
of
why I'm
question.
here.
Would you call the state of Wisconsin a living, breathing human being? Or is it
Answer,
I live
grounds
at you,
because I
man.
didn't ask that
Live at
question?
me.
it's not relevant.
Oh, my
Sustained.
God.
Next question.
This
Very
is
relevant.
this is about as like legally
Seems like there's
succinct
no
as
plaintiff.
Jank saying corporations are people.
Yeah.
I will disregard statements made by
Oh,
the
man,
attorneys
come on,
they-
man.
and the
Oh.
parties. They are
Slick.
not evidence. Please
Stop
ask
trying to
the
be
question.
Stop trying to be slick. He said, "It's you."
So to your
You said it.
knowledge, the plaintiff is the state of Wisconsin. Do you see him present in the courtroom today?
Objection,
Grounds.
irrelevant.
Yeah, he should say yes.
Sustained.
Wisconsin.
Can you
is in
identify the
court.
plaintiff state of Wisconsin?
Same objection.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Grounds.
Sir, please continue.
Where is the state of Wisconsin? How
Yeah.
can
Not on
I
this
be in it
topic.
and it be
Next
charging me?
Yeah.
To the best of your knowledge, you're not even sure
Can you
if
point to
you've
Wisconsin
ever
in this
even had
courtroom?
any interaction with the plaintiff state of Wisconsin, correct?
Objection, argumentative, and
We have had
outcome.
interaction.
Sustained.
Definitely wasn't.
I mean, she sustained that, but isn't that also him leading the witness, basically? 'Cause
Yeah.
He's kind of telling them what to say. There's like multiple things he's getting wrong there. Oh, thank you, Shaner. Shaner the Gray.
Would you consider yourself an injured party in this incident?
Objection,
Grounds.
argumentative. The
Yep.
witness may answer.
Oh, she's
Yeah, that's
answering
not.
No.
Spitfire now. when
He
says
won that one. He's trying to say they're violating his right to face his
Really
accuser,
shouldn't
just in
complain.
case you're wondering about the crazy.
No.
No further
While
questions.
he's facing his accuser.
May I redirect?
No, thank you.
Right, thank you, sir. You may step
I like how they
down.
asked the prosecution. They're like, "Do you
That
need a
girl should be
redirect? Did he
dismissed,
destroy
please,
your
and-
case?"
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you grab that exhibit and take it?
Well, I mean, he looks very
That one has the
lawyerly.
exhibits
He has a
there.
suit, a banker box, and a file
And
folder.
he
We
cut
can
his
keep
hair.
it by the state for now, and then later on it can be brought over to the clerk.
Remember when he got caught in his picture? He had some crazy hair and beard.
Yeah.
Right, the state may call its next witness.
Well, we'll listen to a little bit of the state's witness testifying because he objects to every question, and it's clearly because all his questions are dumb. So,
Does the-
like,
Does the judge
They-
say grounds back every time
Yeah.
he objects?
Good afternoon, sir. If you would please make your way to the witness stand. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand, and my clerk, Teresa.
we don't need. I'm mute for the swearing in. Well, to be fair to him,
Mhm.
He's a better lawyer than me. I've never defended a case. He has.
That's true. He's got more experience as being a lawyer than you do.
All right, thank you, sir. Please remain standing. Raise your right hand.
Yeah. So this is just this whole trial. All the clips are absurd.
I can't believe he's representing himself. What a ridiculous thing to do.
People are just super chatting grounds. I'll do a breakdown of this, but I haven't been watching day to day.
Mhm.
Oh, they have another cop.
Last names for the record, and then spell each.
This is going to be wild. I mean, I'm hoping the prosecution doesn't ask him too many questions because it's all about the cross-examination for this case. So, all right. What do you think so far, Alf? He's innocent?
100%. This dude is. So they should just hand him the ability to be a lawyer from now on.
Yeah, I know.
Passed his bar just from his bar exam just from this trial.
I don't even know how they got this on TV. It seems like cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah. I mean, is there any other better option for him anyway? Like, regardless, he was caught red-handed, right? Like, what better would a lawyer do for him?
I'm gonna make a poll.
Mhm.
All right, I made a poll, so we'll figure out if he's innocent.
What do you
Oh,
think of?
hold on.
Okay.
Let me unmute. He's objecting already.
Briefly describe that training for the jury.
Objection, relevance.
Overrule the witness may answer.
Just so you know, I
Training
muted for one
received
question.
was
He already
on the job
objected.
from prior inspectors. Prior to this, I was a diesel mechanic. And in addition to that, I have ASE and SAE certifications.
And not being in, having any interest in cars, what are those certifications?
Objection, leading.
Overrule
Objection
What?
leading.
How is
the
that
witness may
leading?
answer.
It's asking him.
SAE
clarify.
is for the electrical components in a car, basically, for the part that
You're
I'm certified
leading
in.
him to
ASE
answer the
is for
question.
Mechanical
Yeah.
components, which stands for the Automotive Service Excellence, is what I believe it stands for.
What is the purpose of a mechanical inspection?
Objection.
The purpose of a mechanical inspection is to determine if there was anything that was incorrect, defective, or broken on a vehicle prior to the crash that would have caused the vehicle itself to cause or contribute to the crash.
Yeah, to be out of
On
control.
December 6, 2021, were you directed to go to the Wisconsin State Crime Lab to view a vehicle?
Objection, leading.
Overrule the witness may answer.
What is he leading? What is she leading? Though?
What information
Oh
did
my
you
God.
have prior to going to that location?
Objection speculative.
Witness may answer.
It's just like he randomly grabs for
The information that I was
them.
given is
Mhm.
that I was to set up an appointment there to.
He's got
look
like a
at
bowl full of little
motor
pieces of
escape
paper that
had
have
involved in
things
the
written
crash
on them.
would
He
be-
just pulls them out.
He cracks a fortune cookie. It has 3 words. He has to
Did
pick
you go to
one.
that
Pull them out of a
location
hat.
on that date?
Yes, I did.
Did you do a mechanical inspection of the vehicle that you were sent to look at?
Objection leading. Oh, he said it.
The witness may answer.
Mhm.
He said it.
Yes, I did.
After performing your inspection,
God.
did you draft a report?
Yes, I did.
And did that report contain the findings of your mechanical inspection from December 6th?
Objection, leading.
Overrule the witness may
He's
answer.
leading him to
Yes.
say that he found nothing wrong with the
I
vehicle.
provided to you prior to you going up on the stand what's been marked as
How
Exhibit
dare you?
States Exhibit 83. Do you have that in front of you?
Yes.
Can you briefly,
Objection assumes facts that are in front of the
identify for,
witness.
how it's labeled, how many pages it consists of?
Objection relevance.
What exhibit is that?
Exhibit 83.
It's the crash reconstruction mechanical inspection report.
The whole report is exhibit 83?
Correct.
Yes,
The whole report. I'm supposed to read that.
I haven't ruled on it yet, so go ahead and ask your questions, Attorney Gacy.
Sir, how many pages does this report consist of?
10.
Objection, too many pages.
And that is front and back sides?
Objection. I'm not
Correct.
supposed to do homework.
Yeah, I can only
Oh,
I can only
witness
count up
answer.
to 9. Objection.
And on the face sheet of Exhibit 83, what information does it contain on that as it relates to this investigation?
At the top, it contains case number and recon number, which match.
You just
my
heard that
name,
person
the
cough. That's why he
reconstructionist,
wants the
and
jury
then it
tested for
begins the
COVID.
report.
He's like, he heard one cough
Vehicle
right now.
identification information, and then on the bottom, it's marked with exhibit number 83.
What car were you inspecting?
Objection, leading.
2010 Ford Escape.
For what car he was
What's the topic of the
Going with
fucking
it.
trial?
Oh, God.
Objection leading.
Overruled, you may answer.
You need the witness
Red.
to
And the
say
license
that it
plate
was my
number
car they
associated
saw.
with that vehicle?
Can't have that.
A. Adam, D. David, P. Paul, 9256.
Objection.
And on the
Who's
reports,
Adam?
The vehicle identification number on exhibit 83, where did that information come from?
The vehicle identification number I verify on the inside of the door jamb of the vehicle. There's two VINs on each vehicle. One's a public VIN under the windshield, and one is inside the door jamb of the vehicle. I always use the one inside the door jamb of the vehicle first, take note of it, and then cross-reference it with the public VIN on the vehicle to make sure that they both match.
And did they in this case?
Objection. I have the 10 pages, and nowhere on here does it say it's an exhibit. Nowhere.
That's because it was marked for purposes of trial. It has an exhibit sticker now. So your objection's noted. It's overruled.
It has an exhibit
And-
sticker on it now. You got the
Witness-
sticker. That's it. The sticker says it.
The witness may answer the question. It's been marked as an
Where
exhibit.
does it say exhibit?
Go ahead, sir.
He thinks
Can
he's
you
talking
restate
about
the
the
question?
rapper. I don't
That's
see
right.
exhibit mentioned anywhere on here. His
I did
first
too,
album
but
was.
let's go with this one. Is the VIN number that you saw on the door, you said that you cross-referenced it with the VIN number, public VIN number. Did you do that in this case?
Yes,
And did they match?
yes.
Does it give a drive?
They're like all
training
pausing for his
description
objection.
on that first
Yeah,
page,
they're
the
waiting
front
for it.
page?
Yes, it does.
And first of all, I don't know what that means, but what is that?
Objection, leading.
That one is kind of leading, if I'm being
Witness
fair.
may answer.
Drivetrain description describes
It's kinda
the drive of the vehicle, basically how it's operated on the roadway. So in this case, it's an automatic transmission, doesn't have a clutch, you don't have to shift the gears, and it's front wheel drive, meaning that it's not all wheel drive or rear wheel drive. like
Objection. I could afford all-wheel drive, sir.
And
All the wheels were
is there a
moving.
picture on the front of exhibit 83?
Yes,
Objection, leading.
Overruled, the witness may answer. Just a reminder to wait until I.
True, he should have gotten us the giant cookie defense.
yes.
Mhm.
And what is that picture of?
It's a picture of the 2010 Escape.
That you did the mechanical inspection on?
Objection. If it was a Ford Escape, why am I
The witness
here?
may answer.
Yes,
Right.
You authored this
Do a
report?
good job.
I did.
It's false
Have you had a
advertising. It
chance
did
to
not
review
help
it
the
since you
escape.
authored it?
Yes,
Is the information contained within this report accurate?
Objection, leading.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
yes, it is.
I would move State's Exhibit 83 into evidence.
Objection.
Your objection's noted. It is overruled.
The
Exhibit
judge is so
83
frustrated. If you watch any
received.
clips of her, she's like so checked out of this. She's like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, please just get a lawyer."
Say exhibit 83.
Well, it's kind of a mockery. Imagine how long she's been working in law and doing probably
Ms.
bigger
Brooks, I'll
cases and
take
more
that
important
up
shit
outside
than
the
this,
presence
and this
of the
guy's
jury
treating it
later,
like a
but we're gonna
mockery.
continue.
It
Go
was
ahead.
brought up in front of the jury.
Ms. Brooks, we're gonna continue.
Like
with
he
the
back
questioning
talks.
of
It's
this
so
witness.
fun.
What are y'all trying to pull?
Mr.
What are you
Brooks,
trying to
please.
pull?
No one's. The,
Please, nothing.
the exhibit, to my understanding, has previously been provided.
Y'all
to
trying to
you.
be
You have it.
slick.
It's now been marked as an exhibit for trial
Y'all got
purposes.
something I don't have though.
Go
We-
ahead.
It's
They
not-
just made it an exhibit. He's like, "I don't got no exhibit sticker."
Attorney Basie, I trust that this was previously turned over.
It was, and I believe the defendant has a copy of it in front of him.
Thank you.
Where does it
Please
say
continue.
exhibit 83?
Where does it say that exhibit
Again,
pimped
we'll
my
discuss
ride?
Outside the presence of the jury later, it's not something we need to do right now. Go ahead and ask your questions.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I would object and move to strike from the record any commentary that the defendant was making in the last 5 minutes.
Oh,
What was that?
Oh, you
so what
talking
was that?
shit?
She doesn't have to respond to him.
Court will strike the commentary was made. I'm not sure if it was picked up or not, but as a reminder to the jurors, the statements made by parties and lawyers are not evidence. The testimony and other evidence that's received is.
Imagine thinking the jury's being swayed by him saying this is
Yeah.
some slick shit.
Yeah, there's some slick
Sir, can you
shit.
briefly describe the condition of the vehicle when you inspected it on December 6th?
Yeah, the vehicle had quite a bit of front end damage. The bumper cover was pushed back. The grille was pushed back into the engine bay and into the radiator. That was also pushed backwards in towards the engine. The hood was folded up in the air. Both lights were broken out of the front. There was quite a bit of.
I'm gonna mute while he does the technical thing.
Mhm.
So for those of you who don't know what's going on, Daryl Brooks is representing himself in the Waukesha trial, and he's totally incompetent, as you would expect, and he's a sovereign citizen. He's demanding that the state of Wisconsin present himself as a person to be the plaintiff against him in court.
We'll have to do the inspection because they.
And this is a cop
yet
testifying. He's like the
completed,
mechanical expert. He's the one who
DNA
diagnosed the car that
sampling,
works for the
so
department.
Until they had it finished, it was going to be retained inside the crime lab. So in the interest of not moving the vehicle again, once they were done with DNA, they had me come to the crime lab to do the testing and inspection.
Objection. I never have the crime lab in front of
So
me.
the first section of your report, I'm just going to direct your attention to page 3 of Exhibit 83, talks about the tires and the
Well, this is definitely leading. She wants him to talk about the
suspension and
tires.
tie rods.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Tie rods. She
I
doesn't
told
know
you,
what
said
tie
objection
rods are.
leading. Said it.
Witness may answer.
Yes.
And can you describe to the jury what part
That
of the
lawyer was really
inspection-
confused by what
describe
tie
this part
rods
of
are,
the
though.
inspection.
You know, it would be great if the like lawyers that were doing the Rittenhouse case all like stacked up were streaming this case so they could break down the legal like
Yeah.
like how bad he is.
When was it made an exhibit? 'Cause I wasn't aware of that.
Go ahead, Attorney. Casey.
Somebody
We
put that
continue.
this look at this.
Sir,
Listen,
can you
see, listen.
Describe the
Daryl Brooks is
information
not getting
contained in the first
Come
section
on,
of the
bro.
report under the heading tires, wheels, steering.
No, there's no way.
suspension,
That's why I was
brake.
like, even a lawyer wouldn't have gotten him off. He's so obviously guilty.
Well, the lawyer might have went with with insanity or something.
Yeah, that could have maybe. But
So under this section, it's broken down into 4 parts. One for axle 1 left,
But I
which is
doubt
the
they would have
driver's
gotten that.
side front axle. The left side would refer to it as you're sitting in the vehicle facing forward. The right side would refer to the passenger side. So axle 1 is the frontmost axle.
All right, I get that Rakita is
Axle 2
streaming, but I'm
rearmost,
counter-programming
right, and
him.
It breaks each individual wheel end component systems down.
Somebody just said
And
explain how this is
that,
different
I
from
take each one
Charlottesville.
apart and
This guy
inspect
just
them
drove through the whole
thoroughly, brakes,
parade.
tires, steering components on the front axle.
yeah,
Obviously.
Charlottesville was a bunch of
Suspension
people were
condition,
mobbing around a
anything
car and then
else
dude freaked
that's
out
at
and hit the
wheel
gas,
end of
right?
the
And fucking slammed into some.
And did you do that in this?
Yeah, Charlottesville was a
Yes.
much more defensible
observations
case,
you made?
even though like he was going to get convicted.
This
This
guy,
is like
wasn't
a
he
defensible
already
axle
on
one
the
left,
run
which
from
would
the
be the driver's
police
side
when he
front.
turned into, or he
The
like
tie rod
was
end was
fleeing or
one.
something, right? And then he ran through a parade.
About an eighth
I
of an
don't-
inch
I don't
of
even
the
know
tie
what-
rod end
what
in
was
the
up
ball
with
joint
the,
itself.
I don't
So
remember, but
when
for some
Oh
reason, I
yeah,
feel
yeah,
like the story
Brooks.
was
Brooks. He
yeah,
had
Brooks, yeah,
fled,
that he was in the middle of
Play
fleeing
in
when he
the
ran
tie
into
rod.
the parade. And
Still
caused
attached.
abortion.
Well, he fled a
still
scene, but they
intact,
weren't
still
chasing him.
functioning, still
Okay,
able to
that's
steer
what
the
it was, all right.
vehicle, but just worn to the point that it needed replacement before it got any worse.
Is that something that would create any problems in operating the car, for example, on November 21st, 2021?
I do like that they're trying to legitimately prove the case that like
Overruled, this
you know,
witness may answer.
that the car wasn't
Um,
malfunctioning or like even though he's not putting up a competent
Right.
defense,
Two,
like they're trying to
direct your
prove it.
Attention to 907.
But who knows if he'll bring that up, yeah.
Go ahead.
At least now you know for sure, and it's on record that his vehicle was perfectly fine.
How do we know that's not speculation?
Somebody's like,
Please note that it's overruled, the witness may answer.
all right, not to get
It
like
would
too
not. The
hard into
vehicle
the
would still
Charlottesville
steer
thing,
and
but
drive
cardiac
just the
arrest
same
is
as
not
any other
necessarily a
vehicle.
heart attack,
It would
and
just
trauma
have play
can
in
cause
the
cardiac
steering wheel,
arrest.
And it would
Sure.
make
Like
a
if you want to
little
make the case that people were attacking the
potentially
car and he sped off to
really
flee and that's
maybe
why he hit
your
the crowd, that's
caution
one
was
thing.
that left front
But
tire.
don't pretend that like some 28-year-old woman had a
operationally,
heart attack
The person
randomly,
driving that
coincidentally
car
after
would
being
be
hit by a car.
steering
Yeah,
Based upon that issue.
Not at all.
What other
yeah, I don't think that works out. I mean, Wouldn't a car
Other
crash lead to someone
observations
having a
we
heart
made
attack,
that
cardiac arrest?
all the
Anyway?
tires were
Yeah, it's like
evenly
it's your
worn
heart
on all
stopped.
four
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get it. Like that's not
Mhm.
that doesn't mean a regular heart attack.
Yeah.
I believe it was the left rear. Yep, the left rear axle, the tire on that axle was bigger than the other three. So there's also a chart referenced later in my report that shows the difference between the two. The tires that are recommended to be on the vehicle are
Somebody
size 235,
this freaking
70,
super chat,
R16,
man.
which was
Oh
what
my
was
God.
equipped on the vehicle,
Where is it?
except on the left rear.
Come on, I gotta
which
find
was
it.
245, 75,
We find
R16,
Daryl
which was
Brooks
full size
innocent.
bigger.
The jury. Objection leading.
Objection. He says objection.
Impact would that have on a person's ability
At the end of the
drive?
trial, they find him not guilty. He's like, objection. I
He
like my
objects
3
to the
meals a
jury.
day.
Size bigger in tire is usually not the end of the world, being that it's the single tire. It can have an effect, but it's on the rear of the vehicle. Being a front wheel drive vehicle, the speeds are reported off of the front axle of that vehicle. So that's where the speedometer would get its speeds from. The only time it would be notable would be during a heavy ABS brake application.
You know,
And
I
that
got
would
to
be at
vote
a
for the
higher rate of
SUV, right?
speed with
Oh,
full
that
brake
sounds like reasonable
application
doubt. He's talking about problems with the car.
on the
Uh-oh.
vehicle. That's where it could be noticeable. And by
It
could
could
be, I mean, the sizes are very similar. They're about 1.5 inches in difference. Revolutions per mile are not that far apart. The ABS system might not even pick up a difference between the two.
When you say at higher speeds, are we talking, what are we talking?
Higher
Overruled.
Leading. This actually helped them,
I mean,
honestly.
something like highway speeds, 55 miles an hour.
If he had a
70 miles an
competent
hour.
defense, they would say, "Oh, there is an issue with the
Yeah,
car,
that's what I'm saying.
like a
This
minor
could
issue."
actually help him, but
Any
he
other
doesn't even
observations
realize
made
it, so he's like
in
objecting
that
to it.
area?
The only other observations that I made were that all the brakes were in good working condition. and had
Objection, I
adequate
never did
surface left
maintenance on that
clear
car.
pads,
There's no way the brakes
for
work.
stopping of the vehicle. All 4 brakes were in good working shape and they were able to be locked at the time of inspection.
Objection. There's only one brake pedal in the car.
Let me clarify if I didn't
Not
understand
4.
this. The information you were provided was that this vehicle was involved in a crash?
Objection, asked and answered.
Asked and answered.
Overruled.
It's a different
in
one.
The nature of the
Yeah.
testimony.
The
that was
SUV was
provided.
full of Russian gas, so Putin's
Statement.
responsible. Smart.
Go ahead
Oh,
and
yeah.
answer.
Yes.
And did you?
Oh, the end.
know the
Yeah.
date of it?
Lack of DNA. Yeah.
I
'Cause
know
Kim
it was
Kardashian
November,
will be
we don't know
doing
the
this
exact
trial.
date.
Redoing
Should be
this
like
trial.
there was no touch
So with regards
DNA
to the
on the
braking
shoes of the
system, was there
victims.
Yeah.
Anything?
We checked the shoes of the
you find
victim, and there was no
anything at all
SUV
in your
DNA on
inspection
it
of that
from a Ford
vehicle
Escape.
that would have caused the brakes not to work or not to work effectively on the date of the crash or prior to the crash?
Objection, speculative.
I mean-
Overruled.
Speculative.
The witness may answer.
Speculative.
Actually,
Speculative.
since your inspection took place after the crash, would that be your same
you're
answer with regards to as
speculating.
it was on December 6th, 2021? There were
The
no
USB.
brake problems.
Objection, speculative.
Overruled. The
Speculative.
witness may
Why
answer.
wasn't the SUV brought
That
to
is
trial?
correct.
It
The
was the one
brakes
killing
still
people.
functioned at the time of inspection fully.
Imagine they bring it
What was
in
the
the
criteria that
courtroom.
you then inspected?
I'd like to call to the
The
witness
next area
stand
that I
my
inspected
SUV.
was the electronic system.
Who is
the
this
general cabin
SUV?
system of the vehicle,
Yeah.
cabin being where the occupants
Sounds
sit
like
inside the
Lee
vehicle.
Harvey Oswald. 3
Um,
initials or 3
Did that
names.
by examining light bulbs on the exterior of the vehicle and then systematically working my way into the vehicle where I could.
What observations did you make in that area?
Both headlights were, the lenses were damaged, but the lights were still working. The lights were in the high beam position and in the automatic position from the driver's cabin.
What does that indicate?
Objection, leading.
True.
Overruled.
Leading.
The witness may answer.
So that indicates that when the vehicle was left at the last time, that the vehicle headlights were in the automatic position, meaning that if it's dark enough out, that the headlights would turn themselves on. And the selector stick was in the high beam position, meaning that the last time the lights were in use, they were in high beam mode.
Thank you. Continue.
Okay.
So he had his high
From
beams on.
there, just examine the throttle linkage, horn, and then other driver controls from inside the cabin.
So let's talk about the throttle controls. First of all, What is that?
So
Objection.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
everyone's familiar with the throttle pedal in the vehicle. You press the pedal, makes the vehicle accelerate.
And if he
From there,
identifies
on
as
this
SUV, then they
specific
put him
vehicle,
in
it's an electronic signal
the
that is
impound yard with the
transferred
other
from the throttle
SUVs.
pedal to the throttle
We
body
sentenced
on
you
the
to 5
vehicle
years to the
to
impound
the
yard.
They took my SUV into evidence. There was no warrant for its arrest.
Speeds the engine up. If you let off the throttle, it reduces and closes that valve. On this particular vehicle, I checked the throttle pedal first inside the cab. It was free moving, no binding, no obstructions. I was able to smoothly press it to the floor and release it, and it acted just as it should. From there, I went under the hood of the vehicle. On this particular vehicle, the crime lab asked that I did not open the hood just because of the amount of DNA evidence on the front of the vehicle.
Oh,
Me to come in contact with anything. So they asked that I not open the hood if at all possible, which on this vehicle, I was able to still access.
when the
That's where we
DNA
get into the seriousness of this, is like how many people he came into contact with.
From the side of the vehicle
Yeah.
and
How horrendous
access
am I?
the throttle body components.
Somebody's asking what model. It's
to,
actually a Ford
damage
Escape.
portion
Yeah,
where I
Ford
normally
Escape.
would not have been able to reach.
Which did not help him escape.
From
as we
there,
joked.
I was able to look at the exterior of the throttle, and everything was in clean, clear working condition, no visible damage, no visible issues. I removed the intake tubing from the engine and inspected the actual throttle plate itself, which was in the closed position. Closed position indicates either an idle or that the vehicle is turned off. I was able to then actuate the butterfly valve itself from fully closed to fully open.
Somebody said objection. If there's others people DNA all over the car, how can you say it's me?
Did there appear to be any problems with the throttle?
No, there was not.
I'm just gonna, I know you call it a throttle, I call it a gas pedal. It's one and the same, correct?
I said that earlier. I like to call the witness the Ford
Sustained is
Escape.
in the form of a question. Please rephrase.
He is going to call his SUV.
Yeah, imagine them having to drive it in because he called it the
Nothing.
He'll be like, they had a police expert make assertions about you. What do you think about
starts
those?
questioning it. It's
What was your next area?
The next area I went on to was the seat belts inside the vehicle. And then from there, I actually was able to test the vehicle for function.
No, that's a good one.
Oh my God. Well, he didn't escape, but he did ram.
Did you then
Yeah,
come
that's a good
to
Also
conclusion
too soon.
section of your report?
Mhm.
I did?
And is that starting on page 5 of 10?
Yes.
It would, people would go on his side if he said Epstein didn't kill himself.
Did you check the power
Yeah, all of a
steering
sudden, all the opinions on this guy starts changing. He's a pretty
They'd be
bright
like,
What
based.
observations do you make of
guy.
that?
Based, yeah.
Aside from the ball joint that was loose that I described earlier, the entire rest of the power steering system was intact.
True. DNA doesn't have a timestamp.
So there are no problems that would cause the car not to steer appropriately?
Objection. Leading.
Sustained is in the
Leading.
form of a question.
The judge is like so
Do you
over
observe
this.
any
She's like,
problems
Yeah.
that
Stop.
would-
Like it's in the form
Do
of
you
a
observe any
question.
problems with regards to the steering?
technically she said sustained, so she did agree
From
that that
the
was
ball joint?
leading. So
No.
he did hit one.
But all
Now,
you have
in
to
your
do is
report,
rephrase the question.
you indicate a
That's the
gross
sequence.
vehicle weight rating. Do you see that on page 5 of 10?
Objection. Relevancy.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
Yes, I do.
What is that?
The gross vehicle weight rating is the amount of weight that the vehicle can physically carry safely, and that number is administered.
If he wasn't objecting all the time and I had more time to set this up, I would like do a counter for how many he wins.
Objection.
We'd be like 50-1.
Overruled, the witness may answer based upon his training and experience.
I might do a drinking game for like
Yes, that would
when he
include
says
the
speculative,
vehicle,
but we'd all
the
be
vehicle
dead by
weight,
now.
occupants,
Yeah, we'd be
and
way
cargo.
too drunk for this.
And the curb weight, what is that?
Objection. Evidence makes my client
generally
guilty. He's
what is-
representing himself. Oh my God.
Overruled, the witness may answer based upon his training and experience.
The curb weight of the vehicle is the weight of the vehicle as it rolls off the floor at the assembly plant. And that's without fuel and coolant and oil and things like that. And it's a dry weight of the vehicle. It's what the vehicle itself with nothing in it physically weighs.
Thank you. If someone had reported hearing a clicking sound while this car was driving in front of them.
You know who
is there
deserves to
anything that
have
you
to deal with
found
this
in
guy?
your report
The
that
prosecutor in the
indicates
Rittenhouse case,
clicking
Binger.
sound?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled. The witness
I would have been
may
great if he hired him. I wonder how he
There
would
was a
have
lot of
done this
damage to the
case.
front of the vehicle. It would be impossible
Little
to
Binger.
say what a clicking noise could come from, being as there's a lot of moving components under the hood with belt.
No way. Somebody
engine
did he
fan,
actually
things
ask to
like that.
strike
Anything
damning
would be stuck in the
testimony?
tire. It would
Like
be
to say
impossible
damning,
say if
like
there
the
would be a
phrase
clicking
damning
noise from this
testimony.
vehicle. I was actually not able
That would be
to
funny if he used the
drive
term
it
damn.
physically to test it. I was only able to just start it.
Can I ask why you weren't able to drive it?
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled.
Relevancy.
Witness may answer.
Relevancy.
There's actually two reasons I was unable to drive it. One, again, with DNA evidence on the exterior of the vehicle. Two, there wasn't enough gas.
True, him representing himself is
It is pretty hilarious.
So the car was on.
I mean,
empty
it's a
when you-
horrible story. It is a
Yeah.
tragic case, but this guy's like
Objection, leave.
trial is so absurd.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
It's amazing that we're on like day 5 of the trial. You would think, oh, I'm sorry, day 10.
Answer.
Day
Overruled. The witness may answer.
There's been 10 days of this.
There was, the gauge read E for empty, and the notation on the infotainment center originally said 2 miles to empty, and then on the second. key cycle,
Mistrial,
it said
ineffective
1
counsel. That's pretty
mile to
funny.
empty.
You said key cycle when you started it. Or when you turned the key, what observations, if any, did you make?
Objection, leading.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
So
My
when I
God.
tried to start the vehicle, it was very sluggish. It turned over, but it wouldn't fire, it wouldn't do anything. And then it made like a hiccup sound, like it was going to try to start, mimicking. basically-
Objection, SUVs don't hiccup.
And when I tried turning the key again, then the vehicle actually did start, did idle.
Can
and
you
did
explain
run.
how SUVs can actually hiccup?
That's when I saw that the fuel gauge, the distance to empty gauge went from 2 miles to 1 mile, indicating that the vehicle was very much so out of fuel almost. And I recorded this with my camera, and I tapped the throttle to do a rev test on the engine. The engine revved and went back to an idle. When it went back to an idle,
I can't wait for the cross-examination.
Turned off.
Which would
I'm so excited for it.
Mhm.
Would indicate that it's not getting enough fuel to run correctly.
Thank you. Now, if a witness had testified that when the vehicle went in front of them, they heard a high-pitched, like a revving sound.
Not
based
as
on
far
your
as I know, he
evaluation,
hasn't said they wouldn't get out the way yet.
Hearsay.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
There's a lot of different things.
I'm gonna say
that
he
could
honked
cause
his horn
that.
and they didn't
It could be
move.
Heavy acceleration from someone pressing the throttle. of the
Hunter
vehicle.
Biden should have repped
It
him.
could be noise that is amplified as
People at the parade
the,
and-
engine
yeah.
bay is now open to the exterior, so you can.
I don't
Yes,
know.
this is what the trial's about. He calls himself a sovereign citizen, though.
It could be an exhaust related.
I don't think the Democrat media ignored it. Maybe they didn't.
Oh, they're
report
not
it.
covering
When
this
you were
wire to wire like
doing
cops.
the
Yeah, no.
examination of the undercarriage,
But they didn't ignore it completely. I
Did you
mean, they
observe
did
a muffler?
report on the crime happening. They just didn't keep
No,
up
I
with
did
it.
not.
That's when we
I'll
had
show
the
you what's
SUV
been
headlines.
previously
Yeah.
Admitted, exhibit
Yeah,
73.
exactly.
It'll show on the screen in front of you, and I'd ask that it be published as well.
Objection, leading.
Overruled. Permission to publish 73.
Objection, my exhibit 73 doesn't say 73 on it.
It's marked exhibit 73. It's not actually marked, but it is exhibit 73.
I do.
What is depicted in that photograph?
Objection, speculative.
Speculative.
Overruled based on his training and experience. The witness may
I
answer.
love the way he says that.
It appears to be an exhaust muffler and a couple chunks of wood and overturned dirt.
The
All right.
muffler that's observed in
Tried
this
to bury the
picture, would
muffler.
that be consistent or inconsistent with a 2010 Ford Escape?
Objection, speculative.
I'm gonna have to scroll down just because I don't know
This witness
if the
may
evidence
answer
that they're gonna put is
provided.
like can't show it on
Just
YouTube.
looking at a picture.
Hmm. That's a good point.
overruled, the witness may answer.
Like, we'll wait for the, if they call another piece of evidence, then I gotta flip it. Because what if they show like an injury or something?
Yeah, something.
It is a vehicle muffler without seeing the ends of it and where the inlet, outlet are and actual measurements, it would be impossible to see what vehicle it came from, but it is an automotive muffler.
Get some white pill
Sir, at the end of
content.
your inspection, do you
I don't
come
even
to
know.
the
Let's see
conclusion
if Lee
with
Zeldin
regard
wins.
to
Oh, like positive.
the mechanical
news.
fitness of this
I guess.
vehicle?
I do.
And what
True.
was
That
conclusion?
I mean, they did do that with the
Um,
SUV thing in
My
the media.
conclusion was that
Objection
the
didn't do.
tie rod
God.
on the left front end of the vehicle that's responsible for steering, the joint was worn and had been worn prior to the crash.
I'll read
This is not
That's
something
big.
that
He submitted his
happens
mixtape as evidence.
immediately or overnight. If it would have been
Oh my
due to
God.
crash
I'm CD
damage
Brooke.
that this was damaged, I would expect to have seen a lot more impact in that area with bent metal or
Yeah, just because
items,
it's being streamed on
tie rods are
YouTube
very
doesn't
common
mean that
parts.
I won't get a strike
That to me
for it.
indicates
Yeah.
that it was worn prior to the
That is
crash occurring. And the tire, obviously, unless somebody changed it in between the crash occurring and my inspection, the tire was.
Objection. How do you know somebody didn't change it
Prior
between?
to the crash, and it had been driven like that. I did not see any.
True, Alf, your
issues
mashup was great
from
yesterday.
The tire rod
Oh,
affecting
thank you.
steering as far as.
I'm sorry. I still got to
it
do those
relates
shorts
to
you were
the
telling me
alignment of the vehicle.
about. I'll probably do that with
Once
all of them.
things are worn and they start to get excessively worn, they manifest themselves in incorrect.
He
tire
did do
wear.
that earlier today, Ryan.
That was not
He said
present
there's
on
no
this
state of
vehicle.
Wisconsin present,
Um,
and you've never met him.
Yeah.
Had the left rear tire been an issue on the vehicle, I would have expected to see that manifest itself in an ABS.
Objection, Your Honor. My
with
cousin
an
ate my
electric
really
system
big cookie. It was
failure or
Julius
trouble
Jones'
floating the
sister, by the
vehicle.
way.
When I ran the vehicle and with the key in the ignition in the on position, there were no diagnostic trouble codes.
Oh, Law
present
and
on
Crime
this
try to
vehicle
copyright? Is
indicating
that what you
any
guys are
issue
saying?
whatsoever.
And two things that I guess I need to cover. Do you check to see if there are any recalls of a vehicle in coming to your conclusion?
Objection, speculative, and do we still need this exhibit?
Thank you. We can take that down, and your objection's noted. It's overruled. The witness may answer.
I do check for recalls, yes.
Were there any on this vehicle?
There were not recalls on this vehicle. There was only an extended service warranty from Ford, which had since elapsed due to the mileage on the vehicle.
I'm trying to like
Now,
change
you
this
talked about
to
the
make
brake
it work.
system in terms of the brake pedal within the car and its them
Imagine he
operating
did have all
correctly.
things things
You recall
wrong with
that
the car,
testimony?
and there was a
Objection,
recall on it, and there was all these
Foundational.
problems.
The witness may
I wonder
answer.
if he would be able
Yes,
to
I
use
do.
that to get away with it.
Now, when a person activates that brake pedal, what is happening within the car?
Objection.
There's
You
actually a
can't
lot of
see
things
that.
happen within the car when you activate the brake pedal. When you press the brake pedal.
I mean, if they try to
it pushes
copyright
on a-
claim me, I'm
all the
just gonna
push rod
fight
that
the
actually pulls
claim.
on it.
Yeah.
It pulls on the rod, which goes into the brake master cylinder.
Like,
and
they
that
don't
master
own the
cylinder
trial.
pumps hydraulic fluid from the brake
Wait,
fluid
they're not
reservoir
the
to
ones
each
actually
independent
recording
wheel.
this, right? They're
On this
streaming
vehicle,
someone
it's equipped with anti-lock brakes.
Live
It goes
stream.
through an ABS modulator first.
It's also very transformative. This whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. They don't have us talking over it. It's very.
And I did just mute the trial for you guys out there, but it's very transformative what's going on.
Or where the vehicle's still trying to maintain momentum, the ABS system can
Oh,
override. and
but
that's
the
where
thing
you
is, if
get
they
the vibration
copyright,
in the
I'm
pedal
just
that
going to
many
file a
people have
counter
felt
notice because they're
before.
not taking a
That's
penny
your
from me.
ABS system doing
Like
its job,
Law and
not
Crime,
allowing the
great
wheels
job
to lock
sharing the trial,
themselves
but
up.
I'm
What it's
not
actually
gonna-
doing is
I'm gonna
pulsating
just
the
fight that.
fluid in the vehicle.
And when you talk about brake pads, how do the brake
I mean, because
pads,
if you think
where are
about
they
like
located and how
what
do
they're
they
doing,
relate to the
like no offense to Law and Crime, I do appreciate them, but if you think about what they're doing, they're just streaming a trial broadcast and putting their
Right.
logo on it and collecting super chats. Like they should be happy, not going around claiming other people.
Two brake
Right.
pads together. They're located between the two.
And if there's
sides of the
another
piston
channel
on
link
the
that I could watch this
exterior
on, I'll
brake
do that.
rotor. And what that does is it creates
Probably on
pinching
TV
motion.
too, right? I'm
And
sure
that
there's a
pinching
cable
motion
channel.
slows the rotation of the
Train this
disc
at the moment.
down, which is the brake disc, which is attached to the wheel hub. And that's what slows your vehicle.
And just for the record, he was using his right hand to demonstrate kind of a squeezing motion. He
Objection,
had
you're,
his hand in
You're
a C motion,
describing his
maybe 3 to
testimony.
4 inches between the thumb and the
Making
finger,
a
and then
masturbation
pressing
type of
together
motion.
a couple of inches.
Thank you.
I'm gonna lower the volume for this guy
Are
because
there
I
any
want
other components to the
I want
braking
Brooks
system?
to do the
um,
cross examination. That's what it's really all
Yeah,
about.
that's gonna be funny.
Objection, lady.
Ooh.
Like all he's
There's a
doing is
parking brake system in
objecting.
the vehicle.
But other than that, so you've covered every aspect of the braking system in this particular vehicle, is that correct?
All right.
Objection. Speculative.
Speculative. But yeah, it's just an absurdity
You
like what
observed
we're watching in
anything-
this trial.
Anything at all that would have prohibited this vehicle.
And like imagine being a cop, you've
stopping if the
trained your
brake
whole
pedal
life to
had
be
been
serious like person to go up against the
No.
defense expert and they don't even it's not even that they don't have an expert, they have a clown.
Well, I got my appeal decision back. It says it's still in violation, and they're not.
Oh my god. Alf got a community guidelines strike for one of his
Yeah.
videos. It's
for
total
volume
nonsense.
10. So now volume 10's not up anymore. They didn't even respond to me to tell me where the
Anything
violation is, so I could just take that out and
that you
upload it again.
observed or
don't even
documented with it during or near
It
the
looks like
mechanical
Daryl Brooks was
inspection
just
report
frozen right
that
there.
would have contributed
How
this
long is the jury going to be
crashes that this
how
car
long
was
is the jury
involved in.
going to be there to
Objection.
decide whether or not this guy's guilty? We're talking about like 15 minutes?
Thank you.
Yes, he's representing himself.
Yeah, cross-examine.
Oh, cross-examination. Yes. All right. This is what I've
During
been
your
waiting for.
inspection, did you see any bullet holes?
Yes, I did.
Do you recall where? Back up. Do you recall how many bullet holes you observed?
I do not recall a number of them. No, I knew there were more than one.
The ones that you observed, do you recall where they were?
I do believe one might have exited through either the windshield or rear window, and one was in the side of the vehicle, if I remember correctly.
Bullet hose.
Did you find any shell casings?
No, I did not.
And you said you did the inspection on December 6th?
That's correct.
Who told you to do the inspection?
Do you know if the vehicle had been do you know if anyone attempted to start the vehicle in between that time of the crash and your inspection?
Not to my knowledge, no.
But you don't know for sure.
That's correct.
Thank you, the lab. I really did enjoy the stream.
You made reference to the left rear tire being bigger than the other tires.
Yes.
Can you give a little bit more clarity on how that would affect the vehicle?
So one larger tire on the vehicle would obviously make the vehicle lean ever so slightly away from whichever side is larger than the other. In this case, the amount of difference between the two tires, it's about 1.5 inches in difference in radius. So in radius, you get half of that amount in height. So it would be about 3/4 of an inch difference in height. That amount of difference is not noticeable in a vehicle. The other thing that it would cause is premature tire wear from one side to the other over time, to where one tire might wear faster than the other. The suspension might not act correctly because it's not at the same price.
Objection, you answering
So
too much of my
eventually,
question.
Over time, those are things I would expect to potentially see from that. Each vehicle acts differently with different size tires on it. There's no one size fits all.
Do you recall bully holes?
So different vehicles act differently to having a bigger fitting tire.
Yes.
You made reference to it to a vehicle leaning away from the side that's bigger.
Correct.
Would that in any way create a slight pull to the vehicle to either side?
In my experience, that small amount would not know.
What's your experience got to do with anything?
And you made reference to the high beams. I don't remember exactly what you said referring to the high beams.
Is that
I
a
guess
question?
you made reference to them being used at some point.
The high beams were activated when I did my inspection, meaning that when the headlights are on, they were in high beam mode. The selector stick was pressed forward for the high beams.
Oh, he's gonna nail him right here. Please tell me there's a follow-up. Come on, follow up about the high beams. Are you a mechanic? Somebody's like, are you a mechanic? Please tell me how much you charge to fix my SUV.
Why would a vehicle use high beams?
Yeah.
Usually a driver uses high beams to see better or to illuminate things better.
So
Should've said relevant.
that would primarily refer to if it was nighttime.
Correct.
Was it nighttime? Please, for the love
Yeah.
of God, ask.
Yes, that's gonna be.
Would you say, with your expertise, it wouldn't make sense for a vehicle to use high beams in the daytime?
There are limited uses for them in the daytime, yes.
And what are some of the uses from your knowledge?
Generally, the high beams shine brighter, so even with sunlight shining on them, other vehicles can see them. It's a thing that we use on the highway as law enforcement sometimes.
Oh my God, he
Use
just
the high
admitted
beams
law
at a
enforcement was
crash scene. We'll
driving.
turn the high beams on so oncoming traffic coming in during the daytime sees that brighter light from the vehicle. It's just a little bit of a thing to help oncoming vehicles see.
So it would essentially be for identification purpose.
Not so much for identification, no.
Well, what do you mean when you refer to for oncoming traffic to be able to?
More for visibility is what I mean, so that it stands out to the other traffic. It doesn't look like it belongs because the lights look very bright. It gets the other driver's attention, the same as the red and blue lights on the top of the cars.
Gets them to notice that law enforcement is present.
Correct.
That's what I meant by ID purpose, for them to be able to.
Oh my God, he's gonna go with the police framed him.
Then yes.
Isn't this leading the witness?
Is the defendant law enforcement? Please, for the love of God, accuse the
Were you
police.
able to inspect the entire engine?
I
Oh,
was
come
not
on,
able to
follow
inspect the
up.
entire engine.
And what parts of the engine were you not able to inspect?
The only parts that I was unable to inspect would be down in the front by the belt pulleys area. I could see that the radiator was pushed into it, but I couldn't see what components had been damaged by that, as far as like water pump or anything like that. And I do not usually take the engines down. Meaning I
wish
don't
he
take
would
them
have
apart
accused
as
the
part of my
cop.
inspection anyways. My main under the hood.
Imagine his
inspection
defense was
components would
only the
be
cops can turn on high
non-engine
beams.
related, aside from the throttle.
You made reference to the water pump. Did you notice any water leaking?
Yes, there was coolant that had leaked from the vehicle.
From the water pump?
Is
I
fluid
don't
water?
know where it actually had leaked from, but I know that there was a lack of coolant in the vehicle. It could have come from a lot of various different places. It was no longer leaking when I saw it. It was empty.
How did you notice it was leaking?
So you didn't actually observe it leaking.
Correct.
He just lied to you. He said it was leaking. Perjury. Imagine he is drawing a picture and not taking notes.
So it'd be fair to say you don't know where the leaking came from.
That's correct.
Were you told that
Not
the vehicle was leaking?
To some extent.
No, it just has a low coolant level, meaning it leaked from someplace or it had never been filled properly.
So at that time, it'd be fair to say you weren't sure if it had been filled properly or if it was leaking.
Either is possible.
Oh my God, he's winning this exchange.
But it'd be fair to say you didn't know for sure which of the two.
He's saying
Correct.
either.
Yo, got him. Game over.
Hmm.
Oh, there's a poll
Oh
question.
my god. Damn,
You made reference to a
Not
loose ball
guilty.
joint.
Undecided. How many people are putting not guilty? 2%.
Can you give a little bit more clarity on exactly what is a ball joint?
So the ball joint is at the wheel end. When you turn your steering wheel in your vehicle, there's a shaft attached to the wheel.
Oh my God, this is
Out
getting
to a rack
sexual.
and pinion system.
All right.
The
Right,
pinion
this
is
rack and
around
pinion
here.
system.
The rack is a flat piece of metal with gear teeth on it. As you turn, it pushes
I
the
don't
tie
put my
rods left
ball
and
and
right.
shaft
As you
anywhere
turn
where
left
there's
and
teeth.
right, on the end of each of those tie rods is a ball and socket joint, much like the hip joint on a human being. It's a ball that fits inside of a socket. And what
Are
that
you a
does is
doctor?
it allows the wheel to turn left and right as it's being pushed by the tie rod without any binding or any issues in between.
That
Sir,
is clarity. I don't know anything about cars, so
Yeah, we can all look at his smile like, yeah, I can tell.
you said there was a loose ball joint.
Yes, the
Oh
left
my
front is
God.
loose.
None of all my loose my ball
Damn.
joints is tight. All right.
To what
That's
effect
it.
could that affect the vehicle?
The amount that it was loose, it would only wear more with more use. As those components start to wear down, they start to have a little play. The longer the vehicle is operated without proper repairs, the worse the play gets. The worse the play gets, then you can start having issues with improper tire wear and so on and so forth until it gets to the point that it actually separates. The ball and socket themselves will separate from each other.
And then what happens at that point?
If the ball and socket joints separate, you would lose steering at that wheel. The other wheel would still be able to steer.
Now you said that SUV had hips.
when you say the other
From
wheel,
your inspection, can you tell roughly how long this loose or this ball joint was loose?
I cannot tell exactly how long. No, I can say
yo,
that
he's
it
just breaking
was
down his
loose
testimony.
before the crash occurred, just based on the fact that it was worn, not broken.
So the balls was worn. Please ask that question.
So with your expertise, would it be fair to say that needed to be taken care of?
Yes, that needed to be corrected.
You made reference to the gas.
Oh God.
The vehicle having difficulty starting. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
How could I have started the vehicle if it had no gas?
Somebody's like, will it pass state inspection? I love his awkward pauses. It really freezes the witness. Like this state inspector already got wrecked on that whole whatever the hell he was asking him about with the fluid.
Uh-huh.
Look at him. He's shook right there. He's like hand in there, sweating.
He's like, God, I hope he doesn't ask me any more tough questions.
Are these just car
And,
questions, masses cross
Reference to the
examination?
axles.
He's
You
trying to
made
learn.
reference to
Trying to figure out how to fix this
taking
car.
them off the vehicle.
The axle I do
My
not
car
take
did
off
some
of the
Stevie King
vehicle
shit.
at all.
It's Christine.
What did you do in regards to the axle?
The axle ends, wheel ends, that's where the brake components are mounted. So I remove the wheel and tire from the actual axle end.
I think that's what I was referring to. I'm
Yeah.
sorry if I misquoted.
Oh,
I know you made some reference to removing something. I just
some reference to
So
removing
you
something,
meant the
Your
axle.
Honor.
Something I wanted to ask you.
Ask you about the axle.
when you inspect the axle and remove, you said the wheel.
Yes.
what is being expected at that point?
Expecting.
So when I remove the wheel and tire from the vehicle, I remove all 4 of them one at a time. And that's where I actually look at the brake components themselves, being the brake pads.
If the brake
brake
is in the car,
calipers,
why are you looking at the tire? It's right
those
next
things
to the
inside
accelerator
caliper,
pedal.
brake rotors, and then I get a better view of the tie rod that I was just speaking
That's
about
really not
because
knowing
it's
shit about
actually
cars.
next to the wheel on the axle end of the vehicle.
You said the tire rod?
The tie rod,
Tire
ball
rod.
joint that was loose.
Oh, okay.
The tire is circular. How can it be a rod?
So what? I think you just
Did you take
were
my
clear about
rims?
ball joint and tire rod. Is there a difference between the two?
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yes,
Tire
the
rod and
ball
brake
joint
pads,
is
did he ask
the
if there's
joint
a difference
itself,
between
and
the
it's
two?
on the end of the tie rod.
Oh my god.
Did you notice anything wrong with the tire rod? The actual tire rod, not the ball joint?
No, there was nothing wrong with the tie rod.
So you say it was a strong and sturdy shaft then?
He's just freezing him out right now.
Yeah. Winning. Hashtag winning.
Oh my god. Somebody's like, he's wasting time. I mean, no, he's trying to think of questions. He wrote notes and he has to interpret the notes.
He's like, yeah, what the hell did I write right here? His handwriting's so sloppy, you can't tell.
I will say the prosecution's not objecting at all.
Just one
Nah,
second.
they don't-
I'm just
They'd
looking
rather
up
let him
these.
hang.
Just
Oh.
1 second.
Go ahead.
I've got your ball joint right here, Steven Sugars.
Right here.
Imagine being like a member of the family or somebody who's injured by this guy, and this is how he's presenting himself at trial. Like, oh my god. He's using his public defender's notes. Oh yeah, he fired his public defender, right?
Did he? Oh my god.
Because there's images with him with a lawyer on his side. I think he just fired him.
Oh my god.
He's like, I got this, bro.
Wow, he was probably giving him some good advice on what to do, and he was like, "Nah, I got this."
Well,
That
in
was good
Chonky, the
advice.
reason I'm saying they're not objecting is because in the last testimony they were objecting to a
On,
bunch of his questions.
Page 9 of your report.
Page 9 of the report. Come on, you got it, Daryl.
And you did give some clarity to this. I'm just curious to know. On page 9,
Page 9, right?
well, first of all, you wrote this
Oh my God.
report yourself, correct?
Yes.
Who told you to write it?
Yeah. Did you see who typed it out after you wrote the report?
When, who
Did you
who
see
do
it
you
after
give
it
your
was
typed report to?
Yeah.
On
After
page
this was
9,
copied
the
and
second
photocopied,
sentence.
Did you look at it?
I'm assuming you still have the exhibit 83.
Yes, sir.
He still has not gotten to
It
the
says, I noted a worn tie rod end on the left front wheel end. Was that in reference to the ball joint and not the tie rod?
Tie rod.
Yes. They're one and the same. The tie rod end is a ball joint. It's 2 different ways to refer to the same component.
Okay, I was clarity.
Yeah, he's confusing
It
tire
doesn't
rod
say
with tie rod.
ball joint right here. Would that be fair to say?
Correct.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, he's getting to him. He's undermining this
He's
witness.
turning red. I can see it.
Look, half the people in my poll are saying he's not guilty based on this
Yeah.
cross-examination.
Yeah, I think this is
And
it.
what
This
is
turning
the-
point in the trial?
The
It's
high
in favor.
mount brake lamp.
The high mount brake lamp is on the back of the vehicle. You have the right brake light and turn signal, left brake light and turn signal, and then there's the third brake light that's like usually in the rear window or at the top of the back of the hatch of the vehicle. That's the high mount brake lamp.
Okay. And it was inoperable when you inspected it,
Operable.
That's correct. Both of those were inoperable during inspection.
so they didn't work.
Correct.
I like how people
So
need to
it'd be fair to
clarify
say
that
if
half my
someone
chat
was
is
viewing the
trolling. I'm
vehicle
aware.
From behind, they wouldn't be
Yeah,
able
right.
to see because those were inoperable.
Yes, at the time of inspection, those lights did not work.
How did you know they were on if they didn't work?
Oh my god, he's trying hard. Look at him
He's,
reading this.
he's trying to read the report on the fly and give
Thank
notes.
And
That's
you
it.
also stated that it is unknown if they were working prior to the crash or damaged during the crash. That'd be fair to say
That's correct.
that
Oh, that's
you
what the
would-
report.
you would know either way.
No, I would not have a way to tell when that light bulb went out.
So what do you know, Mr. Expert?
Kind of like Nihilist Anonymous in the chat said, I would never. Me, Daryl Brooks, and the SUV were all playing Monopoly that night. It was my SUV's birthday, and we had spaghetti that night.
We were playing Monopoly and eating spaghetti.
Eating spaghetti, because that's my SUV's favorite meal.
Well, he's not alliterated, so I don't
Yeah,
know
he's
if
not
he belongs
alliterated.
there.
Kim Kardashian doesn't care about people without alliteration in their names.
No further questions.
Oh,
There you go. Done.
Oh,
I'm just gonna have my jury stand for a second. Go ahead.
boo.
Wow.
That was so disappointing. That was so anticlimactic.
He had nothing else. What else did he have? I don't know.
He just wanted a bunch of facts about cars.
Yeah. He just wanted to know how much his car would be worth if he sold it used and damaged. How
He
much
didn't
would
ask
you
him
say
about
I-
the plaintiff. You're right. The state of Wisconsin. Where is it at?
Mhm. Can you point to the state of Wisconsin here in this trial?
So you testified on cross-examination that lights
You're right.
and high mount brake lamp were inoperable. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Oh, they are redirecting.
How about the
Oh,
left's
Brooks.
brake lamp? Is that
Putting the
operable
prosecution
or
on their back
inoperable?
foot.
Objection. Leading.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
The left stop lamp was working.
No, sir, just going back again to this ball joint, you stated that
Yo, Brooks
I
has
guess
them
was your
shook.
testimony
They're
at
like redirecting
cross-examination?
right now.
unless the ball and socket is separated, you can still safely operate that vehicle?
Objection. Mischaracterizes what was said.
Mischaracterized.
Based on the form of the question, I'll allow the witness to answer.
Yes.
And the ball and the socket on this vehicle, were they separated?
They were not.
I'm not saying anything, but the fact that they're
fully inspect the
redirecting is
engine.
wild. The fact
wanna
that his
direct you to
cross-examination
that
is
area of
making
the
them
vehicle.
redirect is wild.
Does the engine control acceleration?
Objection. Relevancy.
Relevancy.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
Relevant.
No, it requires driver input.
Does the engine control
Objection.
braking?
What about Tesla?
No, it does not.
Does the engine control steering?
Objection. What is the relevancy?
Overruled, the witness may answer.
No, it does not.
Does the engine control gear shifting?
Objection. Relevancy.
Relevancy.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
It does not.
Oh God, he's back.
Finally,
to
sir,
properly
you
called.
talked about actually coolant or some type of water.
And they
I
didn't
wasn't
call
sure
any
if it was the
objections out
water
of you.
pump or the radiator. Do you know what was leaking, if anything?
Objection. Asked
He-
and answered during cross.
Overruled, the witness may answer. It's redirect.
Technically, it is asked and
Yes,
answered.
so water pump, water coolant, it's all interchangeable as far as the cooling system for the engine goes. And the coolant system was low at the time of inspection and had been leaking, but from where I do not know.
And
Objection.
again, does that control the steering,
No,
the braking,
no,
the acceleration?
no.
Finally, sir, you had talked about on cross-examination the presence of the high beams being
it's
on
possible.
during the daylight. Do you recall that line of questioning?
Yes.
Specifically, you had indicated that sometimes the state patrol uses their high beams during the day. What was that for?
Objection, that was, yes, sir.
Overrule, the witness may answer, redirect.
To increase visibility.
Is that of any assistance if a vehicle is coming up behind people?
Objection, speculative.
That is speculative.
Based on his training and experience, I will allow him to answer.
Nah, Judge, you're rigging it.
No.
That's it.
Nothing
It's
further.
like that
Maybe
Rittenhouse
you
judge.
may
I
step
knew
down.
they were-
No, ask Brooks. You gotta redirect.
I will take that, thank you, sir.
He doesn't know.
You gotta redirect the redirect. You gotta cross the redirect.
Once the witness
Oh, he mad.
passes, I'll excuse the jury for an afternoon break. It's just about 3:06. We'll take about 15 minutes. I'll rise for the jury.
Oh boy, he mad.
Yo, Brooks, let's hear some shit talking. Yeah, honestly, like he was nailing it with the law enforcement.
Oh, he almost started laughing right now. Little shaking.
Look
his
at him,
head.
he's pissed. Look at him shaking his head no.
This is a kangaroo court.
If this is a kangaroo court, why am I here without my pouch?
You can be seated.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, he's not sitting.
Mr. Brooks, I know the last thing you said, I heard you say that's hilarious. What were you referring to?
I was referring to, like, are you serious? Some of the same things that I ask on
Max.
when it's my time to question the witness
Uh-oh, here we go.
can be overruled. But when the same thing is done,
Yeah, tell her.
There we go.
It's just thrown. It's just thrown to the side. I just think that's
disrespectful.
Well,
I
sir,
really
I
do.
don't find it funny, number one. Number two,
Yeah, you killed people.
you're not in my
The-
position either.
the court.
You're
not in
rules
my
on the
position
objections.
You wouldn't be in your
Time that the
position if you were
objections
one
are
people.
made. I know, and I wanted to address this briefly. You can have a seat. You had questioned during the testimony of this witness, Exhibit 83, because I believe what you were saying is, and you can tell me if I'm wrong on this, the copy of the report you have does not have an exhibit sticker on it.
It does.
Right. And
True.
You want to see it?
Yeah, you want to see it?
doubt that your copy does not have an exhibit sticker.
Yo, he should
because
start
at
hitting on the judge.
time
She's
The
cute.
report was provided to you, and I'll have the state correct me if I'm wrong on this. It would have been provided through the course of discovery. I'd also note
She's got that Wisconsin
on
accent
April,
Yeah.
I believe,
Your Honor, would you
22nd
like to
of
discuss this over dinner tonight?
2022, the state filed a notice of expert naming Inspector Ryan Schultz as an expert witness and indicated that he would testify consistent with his report. And then I directed your attention to the statutes in the rules of evidence dealing with expert testimony, specifically starting at 907.02 through 907.07. That is why I didn't stop during the testimony to have a discussion outside the presence of the jury, because at that point, the objection to not having an exhibit sticker on your report is not, would not prevent the
Listen
court
to
from
this
receiving
guy.
the exhibit
Judge
once
is
the
only
proper
hot for a
foundation was
judge?
laid, which in
Wow.
my opinion it was.
Rude.
And the fact that your document didn't have that specific exhibit sticker doesn't diminish the fact that I know from your cross-examination, you were referring to the report. At times you referred to it by page number. It was clear from your questioning that you had reviewed it. I would just note two examples. You asked some questions regarding visibility and the impact of the high beams. That was one example. And then secondly, questioning him.
How
about
can
the
you
ball
write
joint and
notes
whether
so
it needed
fast that
attention
it
and
takes
what
me a
that would
long
mean.
time?
And so I just wanted
That
to
didn't come
make
from the report, Your Honor. The
a
only
record
thing
of
that came
that.
from the report was from page 9, when I was
Page
trying to
9.
get clarity about why it said worn tie rod.
Tie rod.
Oh, and you actually questioned
I
the
don't
know
witness
what my
about
cousin
the
Tyrod has
different
anything to
tire
do
and what
with
that would mean. So I thought 3 good areas of cross-examination that you covered. As far as the other
These conferences have been so
issues I
wild.
think that you might have when there's redirect, I'm not going to explain what redirect is, sir, but again, for my position,
You should know.
there's direct examination, there's cross-examination. The state or any witness, any party that calls a witness always has the opportunity to ask the direct exam questions and then redirect based upon what's asked during cross-examination. Sometimes that does mean there's some repetition, but I didn't see anything through the redirect of this witness that I.
It's so
thought
crazy
was
because he's so
improper.
bad, but she has
So I
to
just
give
wanted to make a
real
record of
reasons,
that.
even though
I
we
am
all
going
know
to
he has no
caution you,
argument.
sir.
Do you understand what I was saying?
You are.
Do you understand what I was
That
saying?
you, during multiple times during the questioning of that witness, you were mumbling under your breath. You say disparaging remarks toward the court, toward the witness, or toward the process.
So if it was disparaging, what did I say?
Oh, burn.
Sir,
Because I
you
don't-
say things like it's not fair, or
There
you
you go.
you make noises that suggest like you're disgusted with the ruling that is made.
So you're assuming what I mean by that, and when did I say
Mr.
it
Brooks,
wasn't
I'm
fair?
just making
Yeah,
a record
get her.
Yeah,
because
but
it's
you're making
important
an
that
incorrect record.
it's important that you
Making
demonstrate
an
courtesy
incorrect
and
record.
decorum through these proceedings.
Those are the noises I
And
make
that
of
you
elation.
give respect to the witnesses who are testifying in the process.
Did
as
the
you-
witness feel disrespected?
Does the witness?
Did the witness say anything about feeling
Mr. Brooks,
disrespected?
I'm not gonna engage in this
'Cause I don't think he
back and
did.
forth with you because first of
don't
all,
think
it's
he
a
did.
mischaracterization of my observations, number one. And
Yeah,
number
but your
two, it's my
observations are
job-
incorrect.
It's
If
my
you-
He's
job
saying the same thing
to
that his
ensure that the-
characterizations are
under
correct.
90611
the
that
same
there's
thing
the
about each other.
effective presentation.
The jury's not in,
and
so
I'll
he can
just
fight the
refer
judge all he
you to
wants.
that once
Mhm.
again. I'll read it into the
You don't
record.
need to read it.
Under
You don't need to
906
You don't need to read
Just
nothing.
Make sure that
11,
you make a
The
correct.
judge shall
record.
exercise reasonable
Don't lie on the
control over the mode and order of interrogating witnesses and
Now he's gotta
presenting
shut
This
evidence
is gonna
to
get
it.
addressed
All of
every
the
time.
following: make the interrogation and presentation
Every time.
effective for the ascertainment of
He's
truth,
talking shit
avoid
now.
needless
Yeah, he's still
consumption of
whispering under his
time,
breath,
protect
disparaging the
witnesses
court.
from
Exactly
harassment
what
or
you said.
undue embarrassment. Sub 2 talks about the scope of cross-examination. Sub 3 talks
She
about
used to be
leading
woke, and then she had to deal
questions
with this
and
guy
when
defending
leading
himself,
questions
and
may
she's
be
like, "I'm
used,
right-wing
to
conservative."
develop the witness's testimony.
Yeah, it's totally changing her thoughts.
So with
on
that, we'll take our break. I'll start the 15 minutes. It's 3:13. We are in recess. Thank you.
Oh, Brooks, you gonna take that fight back?
I did actually take note of when the court overruled one of Mr. Brooks' objections. His
I don't
response
consent to being
was,
called that name,
"Stop
Your Honor."
trying to be
I
slick."
resent being called
Yeah,
the
I
name.
did say that.
So
Yeah, I
just for
did
the
say
record,
that.
I thought that was very disrespectful.
Thank you. I would agree.
Oh, brown
Judge,
nose.
we
Boo.
discussed scheduling at some point as well, either now or on the
When we
return.
come back.
Why
Okay,
wasn't that addressed right when it happened?
Honestly, Mr. Brooks, I'm really trying hard not
Because
to
that's
highlight
the
your
definition of
misconduct
trying to be slick.
during the trial.
Trying to
I'm
be slick.
trying
That's
my
the definition of trying to be
best
slick.
here to
I don't see
frankly minimize
I don't
pointing
see
those things out to the jury and instead
I
pointing
don't
them
see it.
out outside the presence of the jury. You may have noticed I've even started to say I remind the jurors that the comments of the parties or the attorneys are not evidence, so as to cast a broad brush and not simply highlight your
I
conduct.
haven't noticed anything, and I don't
But all right, we're in
refer to
recess.
what
Thank you.
conduct
It's
you're referring
3:14.
to.
What conduct?
If you're gonna be biased, then somebody.
Oh,
He's
he's
gonna
still
be
talking
biased.
shit.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yo, this man.
I can't believe this guy.
I,
If y'all
this
gonna be biased.
It's so wild, like this trial. Like you
But
get
he-
why I had to like do something about
Mhm.
it. Like just
And
watching
the judge
it.
explains it. He doesn't even understand the concept that there's a difference between the examination and cross-examination, and that some something objections you call in one are not the same as the other.
She's like, listen, like we don't want to call out your bad behavior during the trial because we don't want to bias the jury against you. And he's like, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen you not
that.
call out my bad behavior.
Well, and that it's the definition of being slick. Your Honor, that's the definition of being slick. You ain't from the streets, so you don't know that.
Oh my god, that was funny. The judge could not get out of there fast enough. She was like, "That was
No.
it." And by the way, the prosecution total brown nose in talking about where they wrote down where he disrespected.
Oh my god.
Nah. Honestly, look, Brooks was winning the cross examination. He got a little distracted. I was hoping that this is why he needs to be a little more sane. Because I was hoping when the guy said that cops used the high beams, he was going to allege that the cops did the driving of the SUV. But, like, he had no follow-through in that line of questioning.
Oh, God. That was ridiculous. And all the objections he calls are great, like random objections.
Manny, this is the Waukesha, Wisconsin trial.
It's like when he does his objections, it's like cold reading. Like you just throw whatever at the wall and hope that one is right. Every once in a while he's right, but I don't think it's because he's right. It's because he just got lucky.
Oh, it's because
lucky.
if you object to everything, eventually the prosecution is gonna be wrong.
Eventually he gets one that's right. It's like, oh shit. But that's just random dice rolls.
Yeah. No, it's a wild thing. Somebody's like, he's so screwed. He's just trying to extend his 15 minutes. Listen, Kim Kardashian could try to get him out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's not apologizing. He's denying that he was involved. Like he's denying that he's Daryl Brooks.
What is that? What it is? Oh, that's
Yeah,
why he says he feels offended by being called that name.
Yeah, that's not who he is because he's a sovereign citizen apparently.
It's like, Your Honor, Daryl Brooks had a beard and a and long hair. I obviously have a shaved head and a shaved face. That can't be me.
Yeah, honestly, so Rittenhouse's judge, he definitely doesn't want him because what people don't know about the Rittenhouse judge is he's actually very strict in sentencing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get during the trial, he's going to make sure you have a fair trial. But in the sentencing phase, if you're convicted, you're done. Oh my god. I don't know if we should keep going on this or we should just wrap it because they're like a 15-minute break.
What's going on after that? What are they doing? Well,
just more trial, more witnesses, more nonsense.
Ugh. This guy's ridiculous. I can't believe he's defending himself, but I kind of believe it at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, that other guy who defended himself when he like killed the mom.
Yeah.
And then he's like questioning his son, who's the key witness. It's so weird. That guy was screaming.
That's extremely sad. Imagine, having to be cross-examined by your dad who murdered your mom and for the trial of that.
And it's like, well, that guy had like some coherence in his crazy. So he was like, he was saying that the cop adopted him. Therefore, the cop, like, it was like a plot. He's being controlled by the police and used against him. Yeah.
Oh my god, that is so nuts. He
Yeah,
wanted my son, so he orchestrated this whole thing to steal my son from me.
Somebody says stay for the rescheduling side. Oh, he made a huge scene in the morning. Yeah, I actually did an interview with the Brad Palumbo guy, so I wasn't catching it in the morning.
Is there like a highlights video we can watch of the whole trial to go through?
There's some stuff on Twitter
that we can look through real quick. Somebody had to have put like a highlight.
Yeah, does somebody have a mashup of his?
Yeah, if anybody knows where there is one that we can like go over real quick to see basically what the big crazies he's done so far. We're getting an Anna Fetterman mix. Wow, I'm on strike now, so I can't even upload videos for a week.
Yeah, he got a community guideline strike. Right. That was bullshit.
That's total bullshit. It says I was inciting violence, and there's no incite to violence. Obviously, I'm putting up what TYT puts up. So what incitement to violence could possibly be on there that TYT doesn't have?
Yeah, Brooks should say his name is innocent person.
That would be great.
Yeah, no, I remember he got removed in the first week. I'm saying, is there anybody who has like a video highlight
Yeah.
of the
Yeah,
thing?
like if anybody knows a YouTube channel that has posted up highlights of his
Like if you have a
crazy
mashup of
stuff.
his greatest hits, that would be amazing. Did the officer try to oil change it a tune-up? Oh my god. All right, I gotta run to the bathroom.
Yeah, go for it. I'm looking up for see if I find some highlights here. And when
So
you get
I'll
back-
leave you as the guide of the ship, Alf.
Yeah. When you get back, I'll find us some highlights and we'll watch. I can't believe I got a strike. Arrgh. I wanted to stream today too, but like an hour before that I get a strike. Speaking of an experiment, looks like Alf. So funny enough, especially with the nose job, she got an Alf-like nose job, right? How funny is that? Brooke should have watched my cousin Vinny, the two Utes. So the two Utes wouldn't get out of the way when I was driving through. It's not my fault. Is there? Well, yeah. Law and Crime Network has a recap. It says the trial so far from 11 days ago, though. So that's kind of, and that's got to be real early in the first few days, and it's like already a 13-minute video. They also have a top 5 wildest moments from the day 1 trial. That might be good to look at too. That's funny. All right, just from day 1 trial, there's already a top 5 wildest moments. Yeah, I got like 2 videos already I see here that we could watch. The recap so far will probably highlight most of it. But all of these are from days ago. I don't know if anybody knows, because it's day 10. But how many days has the trial been going on? Not counting weekends, probably, right? So maybe it's really like 14 days. No, but this is day 10 of the trial, not day 10 since the trial has been on, right? So. It says prosecutors plan to rest their case today, right? So this is going to be, so this is getting close to the end. Prosecution is resting their case today. So it'd be interesting if they had like a case so far that was posted more recently, because the one I've seen is from 11 days ago. So I don't know how many days of trial had been going on by then at that point. Well, I said 15-minute break, so I should be back pretty soon. I mean, it's been about 10 minutes already, I would think, or 8 minutes or something like that. The judge needed a break to laugh. Yeah, basically. She needs to go to the back and relax for a minute from how much this guy's stressing her out, probably. Driving her nuts. See, there's another one from yesterday that says, while Kesha Christmas parade attack suspect court day 11 of trial. So how was that day 11 of trial streamed a day ago? And this is streaming right now live. That's day 10, right? That doesn't make sense. I think one is counting how many days it's been going on for, and one's counting the actual days of trial. If not, that makes no sense. No, see, Fox 9, Minneapolis, has Darrell Brooks trial, day 13. You see? How does that make any sense? Now I'm confused. How many days is this? Well, I need Darrell Brooks to explain to me how this works. Or maybe I can contact them and tell them to use this as a defense. Like, Your Honor, how is this day 10 and day 11 and day 13 of the same trial? It makes no sense.
I am back.
This is a
All right,
mistrial.
Alf, you got the link?
For which one? Oh, I got one for a recap so far.
Oh yeah, let's watch that.
But that's from 8 days ago. When did the trial start? Like,
It might. Some people might be counting like the jury selection as well.
that's what I was thinking, because they have different days here. Some of these are on day 13 of trial. And I'm like, how is this on day 10? And Fox has it as day 13.
Yeah. Nah, link that over. I definitely want to see that.
I put it in here.
Yeah, you could use the private chat.
Yeah. And that's so far. There's also a funny one here that said 5 wildest moments from the day 1 of trial. You might want to check that one out.
Oh yeah, we definitely gotta.
Maybe the second one to watch first, because that's just day 1. And the other one's the rest of the trial.
All right, I'm gonna cue. I'm gonna have to cue this one up. This is gonna be fun, man. Like Brooks. Oh my god.
They should always televise when criminals like this that are obviously guilty want to represent themselves. They should always televise this stuff. It's just funny to see.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go with the wildest moments first. I'm not gonna stay for the whole trial, guys. Like I like for the rest of it.
That's gonna be long.
Like I gotta make dinner at some point. But let me do the share. Chrome tab. Top 5 wildest moments. We have to go with it. All right, guys, you ready for this?
Mr. Brooks, you just interrupted me within a minute of us starting this case here today. I'm asking
All
you
right, 1 minute in.
to not interrupt me. That's the second time, so I can go through the list of things that I need to get through this morning.
The trial for Darrell Brooks, the man accused of driving through the Waukesha Christmas parade last year, killing 6 people, begins, and Brooks is representing himself as a
Oh no, this is somebody like narrating. I don't want narration. I just want to see them.
Yeah, just you can skip through with the bottom, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the other video and see, and then I'll go back to that one.
The other one might have narrations. These are all Law and Crime Network, I think.
Yeah, but they might have like a highlight reel.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for, but I couldn't find one.
I have not had the time to go through everything in there. As you can see, it's a lot. That's putting it minimal. A lot. So
there's too much evidence against me.
Everything that's in
I did not have that time.
I'm winging
She
it.
had.
Darrell
I'm winging
Brooks admits he's winging it,
his
defending
hand.
himself against more than 70 counts, including homicide charges in the Waukesha
He's
parade
winging it.
tragedy that killed 6
Oh,
people.
no, hold on, I'm
and
skipping to
injured
this.
60 when Judge Jennifer Doro
Ordered Mr. Brooks
Oh my
be
God, he's
removed
got
from
his
the
shirt
courtroom
off.
due to repeated interruptions and disruptions.
He has no shirt.
With the court. This
So I
of course,
demand I be allowed to
comes
do a
on
rap performance for my
recent
testimony.
history with Mr. Brooks. On every day that we have been in court since Monday, he has shown a complete
No
and utter
way.
disrespect
Oh
for
my
the
God.
simple rules of civility. He has been removed from the courtroom multiple times. This morning alone, he started interrupting this court within a minute of the court calling the case.
Oh my God. Look at him.
I should
Looks
also
like I'm
make a
about to
record
spit
that
some
at the
bars, though.
moment he is muted because of the way that he was removed from the courtroom. and his
Unmute him.
conduct since.
Mhm.
I
Demand
have
this.
been given just a bit of information about it. I will advise everyone that I have required that the Sheriff's Department file a written report with the court regarding Mr. Brooks's conduct. I'm told that he would not sit down while in this.
Oh my God,
What
ads.
Sat down at that moment. He was still standing.
Yeah, I know.
Still won't sit down even at this moment. He's
His
still
courtroom in
standing.
order to have the shackles removed so that he could be taken to the other courtroom, that he was resisting. That at one point he took off a shoe, and it appeared to the deputies that he was going to throw the shoe.
Oh, he
Now,
should have thrown
eventually,
it.
Of course,
No,
the
yeah.
trial proceeded, and Brooks
All right, I don't want to hear this lady. Okay, so he's no shirt, freaking out, and then all of a sudden he's throwing shoes, allegedly.
Yeah, he took off his shoe
Did
as
it
if he
happen
was
to
going
you in
to.
your direct?
Oh my god, I somebody's like, you're disrespecting me. It's a biased clip. True. No shirt, no service.
No ticky, no shirty. It's true.
Oh my god.
They have
Let's
the
see,
line
let's
behind him of the road he drove where he hit people on the timeline.
Direction for the SUV.
Yes, it did.
What did you observe the path of travel for the SUV to be?
Objection, that's hearsay.
That's yours.
Brooks, it's not hearsay. Your objection is overruled. You may answer.
Could you state the question one more time?
Sure. Where did you see the SUV go? Better question.
Objection, irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
The SUV entered the parade route.
I want
Objection,
you to
leading.
describe what you remember seeing as it passed your location, please.
As I was waving my hands overhead, I was approximately 6 feet from where the SUV was driving. As the driver passed essentially in front of me by about 6 feet, I could see the operator of the vehicle and just a dazed, straight, focused look straight ahead, not looking at anyone.
Did the driver appear to respond to your efforts to stop the vehicle?
There was
Objection,
absolutely no
she's being
response.
slick.
Then it came time for Brooks, of course, to cross-examine.
Oh my god,
Officer
stop
Walker.
narrating. Just show me the highlights. I'll draw my own conclusions, lady. I don't know who you are, who I'm stealing the footage from.
Her name's Anganette.
Is it fair to say that you
Strange name.
can see that there are people walking in the street and on the sidewalk? Would that be fair to say?
Yes, I could see that in the video clip.
Do you see anybody being targeted or being in a panic to get away from the vehicle?
No.
Do you see the said driver of that vehicle intentionally trying to hit anyone in that video?
Intentionally trying. It was an accident.
No.
Oh my god, he cross-examined his ex-girlfriend.
So
I rest my case.
I rest my case, y'all.
and I would ask, were you brought here today to testify on behalf of the plaintiff?
Oh, he's gonna ask. He's gonna ask what
This is
state of
Sustained.
Wisconsin.
He already answered that he was why he's here.
So he's in another room because of his behavior for this one.
Again, I would ask just one more time for the record. Do you see the plaintiff in court today?
Sustained.
Where
you-
is the
you
state of
separate
Wisconsin? Stop.
Oh my god. I mean, considering they're in the state of Wisconsin, why don't they just answer and say yes? Like, yes, I did see the plaintiff.
If the state, he's really, really harping on the right to face your
So
accused.
funny. Yeah, that's really funny.
Waukesha, Jesus Christ, man. Oh my, his highlight reel could probably be all the times he asked this question. Oh, so
Yeah.
somebody doesn't know. So if you weren't here earlier, Daryl Brooks is going with the defense that I have a right to face my accused. And since the state is bringing the case, he wants to face the state of Wisconsin and they have to be in the courtroom. That's his argument. So when he's referring to the plaintiff, he's referring to the state of Wisconsin.
And also, he's not Daryl Brooks anymore.
And yeah, he's not Daryl Brooks either. So when he says the person you call Daryl Brooks or the defendant, like, so yeah.
Do you have any other questions, Mr. Brooks?
Do you know if the plaintiff at all whatsoever.
Sustained.
Do you know the plaintiff at all whatsoever?
No further questions.
A friend
Oh my
Oh
god,
my
all
God.
these ads.
There's one here that says, "Who is you?" Darrell Brooks questions witness about his identity.
Oh yeah, you got to send that over.
I'll send that over yet. It's only 4 minutes, so it's good. Who is you?
Wait,
There's
is
one where
it
he cross-examines his ex-girlfriend.
is
too.
it this chick?
Kind of funny.
Is this his
No,
ex-girlfriend?
no, that's not it.
I'm gonna play this.
To go
Okay.
hang out
Hold on, I'll
with
be right
Nick.
back. I'll eat.
Do you know Nick's last name?
Ricada.
Kirby?
Erica didn't go with you.
How could Nick's last
So,
name be
what happened after
Kirby
you
if he's
split
a
up with Erica?
Nintendo character?
She met up with Daryl
How do you know that?
because she was on the phone with him and they said that they were going to meet up.
Now, before that day, November 21st, had you ever met Daryl Brooks?
No.
You'd only heard his name from Erica?
Yeah.
After you split up with Erica and she went to hang out with Daryl, did Erica ever contact you or Nick after that point?
Yeah.
How did that contact take place? Did she see you or did she call you? How
No,
did that
she
happen?
called me on my cell phone.
And what was the nature of that conversation?
That he was beating her up and he was following her.
and then Erica Patterson took the stand and testified about what happened on the
About that morning?
I didn't know about the parade.
Okay, what about that afternoon? Did it become apparent to you that something
Yes.
was going on?
Yes.
Did you come into contact with Daryl Brooks on the afternoon of November 21st, 2021?
Yes.
All right.
Where did you first
I'm
come into
gonna-
contact with Mr. Brooks?
At Crane Park.
Oh, that's his girlfriend?
And how
His
did that come
ex-girlfriend,
about? What were you
apparently.
doing? Why
Well,
did-
I mean, I would hope so
We were
now.
messaging
Yeah.
and calling each other all day. We were arguing back and forth. He came out there. Well, I told him I was with Miss Corey. And he came out there. I told him where I was. Got in his car. We drove around. And then I forgot the street. We went up that street. It's a hill. It's kind of by the Walgreens.
I mean, imagine you're dating some idiot and then he goes and does something this horrible, and then you have to show up to court and explain like what's going down.
Everything that happened to you and him and around the time that happened to explain your side of the story. It's crazy.
I want to see his cross examination, but then I'm gonna jump to who is you because that's too funny.
Mm-hmm.
We went up that hill. We drove around. Me and him got into an altercation. He hit me in my eye. I jumped out of the car, walked and found my way back by Frame Park. And then he followed me there. And then I went back in his car. I got out and I had called Corey. Well, I called Corey before that. And she came to meet me. I told her that me and him got into an altercation. So she met up with me. And by the time she got there, she pulled me out the way because his car turned around. He swerved. She pulled me out of the way. He got up his car and they got into.
He's serious about the
altercation in
COVID
face.
mask though, so maybe
I
the
don't
left
remember
really
she
does
had
support him.
Anything that we got and walked back to the women's shelter.
Now, despite everything that happened,
All right, stop it. This lady with her narration.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we don't need your
Back into the
narration.
courtroom. I really
Oh my god, yo, law and crime with their freaking ads. Another one's coming up.
appreciate that. I
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
you being
It's a lot.
here.
It's like every 5 minutes. Less than that. It was like every 2 minutes. It's been more. It's been 10 minutes, and there's been like 3 or 4 already.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Jeez, they're monetizing the hell out of this.
Well, I can't say I blame them.
I mean, I ain't turning down the super chats. I'm not donating it to some charity fund or anything like that.
Runs much smoother when you are here, assuming you follow all the rules, which you have done a very good job at this afternoon. I also want to commend you on cooperating with the process even before you were
That's
brought
this is
over
damning
here.
with faint
You were
praise.
respectful.
Oh my
But
god.
you also made appropriate objections.
She's
You
rewarding
asked
him for the good
questions on cross-examination,
It's
despite not wanting.
it's like talking to a 5-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's
you're-
trying to give him positive reinforcements for doing it right, and then the other way.
You're doing really good lawyering today, Daryl.
Yeah, good job today. If you keep this up, I might give you a cookie.
Wanting to unmask at first, you did do that, and I appreciate that. You asked some cogent, relevant questions, some of which went directly to the credibility of
Your
the
Honor, can you
witness.
define
I would
cogent?
add, you might not always artfully ask the questions, but I think you're making some solid points.
You could have a future in law, son.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. She's gonna teach him. I'm gonna take you under my wing as my apprentice.
You could maybe clerk for a judge. Definitely not me though.
Yeah, definitely not me though.
Some other judge.
I would encourage you to keep prepping, to have questions written out based on the materials that you have. I really appreciate that you.
I guess it works because
over
now he
and
started
that you've
coming
been
back with a
following
suit.
the rules. I also want to
And now bursting
encourage you, sir, to, if you choose to wear your suit or other street clothes, it is your choice. I will let you make that choice.
She's like giving him tips on how to be better.
But I encourage you to consider that.
I'm tired of looking at you.
I don't think there's anything we need to address other than perhaps timing.
She's like,
We
look,
went a
can't
little
look him in the
bit late
eye.
here tonight, so I think I'm going to have the jurors report. I tell them we're going to bring them into the courtroom at 9. That usually means a little bit earlier with their protocol. We'll still start at 8:30 to address any housekeeping items at that point in time. Is there anything the state wants to address right now, or any record you want to make? Mr. Brooks, anything you want to address right now?
Here we go.
I just thank you for giving me the chance to come back in. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And those were just some of the top.
Oh, that was lame.
That was lame. That seemed like that's where he learned his lesson, and now he's coming in with suits and acting different.
I'm gonna go to the who is you one,
Yeah,
and then we'll probably wrap it on that.
Wrap it up, B. Yeah, we gotta get some food too.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, I can't believe this guy.
All right.
Thank you, sir. I don't have any other questions.
All right, sir. Mr. Brooks, do you have any questions for this witness?
Yes, I do, and I object to being called that name for the record.
I object to Daryl Brooks, my name.
I object to being called that name for the
You
record.
recall giving a statement to Officer Probst.
Probst.
I don't know his name, but
There's no way he pronounced that right. Like, can we all agree?
I think that's a German last name. I think Probst.
Oh man, okay, look at that. Daryl Brooks, attorney at law, schooling me.
He's a master of last name linguistics.
He can't pronounce any word like objection or any of that, but he can pronounce Probst.
Yeah. Probst.
I've talked to an officer.
And you did talk to an officer that night?
I talked to an officer on the phone. I did not talk to an officer that night. I mean, on the phone I did, but not in person.
Ooh, breaking him up.
Mm. He's already cracking his shell. You see this shit, man? This guy.
Yeah, contradicting himself.
So it was a conversation on the non-emergency.
Hold on, let me see if I could because like it's playing at 1:44. Let's go 7:20.
Let's see how
there we
go. Line, would that be fair to say?
It was on the non-emergency line. I actually confirmed it after I called to make sure I was on the non-emergency line.
Do you recall the description that you gave at that time?
I do. Well, my best of my knowledge was that you were either black, Latino,
who's you,
or mixed.
Who's you?
Well, you have to let him answer the question first before you interrupt him with another one.
Yeah,
I thought he was asking who like
who's you? Who's
like
you?
who's this guy? Not like who's you?
Yeah, who is you, bro?
Who's you? Who's you? He's gonna be like, I ain't Latino.
Go ahead with the description you provided that night.
I said that the individual was either black, mixed, or Latino.
So it'd be fair to say you didn't know at the time.
I was giving a general description.
Yeah, so it'd be fair to say that you weren't sure.
I was positive that it was you. Who is you? You. I'm looking at you.
Point to him in the room. That's usually what they do in the courtroom. Yeah,
Who's you?
I'm looking at you. That's a good answer. I like this guy, man. These guys are good. Like, bro, I know what you did. I don't like you. Like
That guy's not playing around.
No,
He's
doing
like,
better
you
than the cops. Then when he cross-examines, so this guy's serious.
he's
Who
like,
is
you is you.
You. I'm looking right at you. And he gave him a hard look too as he was looking at him. Like, I'm looking right at you. What you gonna do?
Oh my
You
god.
want to take this outside?
How funny would it be if he brought in a picture of a black, a Latino, and a mix,
Yeah,
and be
can
like,
you point in this picture? Who you
look
think
how
fits
different they
that one
look.
picture? Yeah.
And how did you come to that conclusion? The you conclusion.
The you conclusion.
I'm looking at you.
How did you come to that conclusion? Did you?
What conclusion? Can you restate the question?
You're saying that you gave a description on the non-emergency phone line, correct?
It was on a non-emergency line.
So it would be fair to say at that time you had no name or knowledge of who the person was in your backyard. Would that be fair to say?
I had no idea who you were.
And so how can you say how can you say you then if you had no idea?
Because I saw you.
I'm looking at you. You were the guy.
Fantastic. This guy's like an old Italian. I'm looking at you. You're the guy. It's like amazing. Oh my god! No way! I'm looking at anybody else in here. I'm looking at you.
If you didn't know who I was, how did you know it was me? I mean, who's you?
Well, I looked at you then, and I'm looking at you now, and it's you. You're the same person.
This is not fucking around. He's like, bro, it was you. You were in my backyard.
Yeah, right.
Oh my
That's
god.
great. I love this guy's answers.
Let's see where Daryl goes with this.
Yeah.
And how did you come to that conclusion?
How do you come to
You and I were standing in the same yard looking at each other.
So is it possible you saw something on the news?
No, I had no idea who you were.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, isn't it?
Do you recall giving a description of approximately 5'9" and 160
They were,
pounds?
like, staring at each other.
Yeah, something like that.
I like the way he just stares at him.
Something like that, or would that be accurate?
I didn't have a tape measure out. It was just a guesstimate.
Would it be fair to say that since you keep identifying me as you, would it be fair to say that I'm not 5'9" nor 160 pounds?
You have your shoes on or off right now?
Would it be fair to say that I'm not?
No, I mean, look,
he's ignored it. That's a good question he asked back though.
No, look at that. Somebody's like,
5'10"
I'm
and shoes on.
5'10", 165.
Although he would say I had shoes on then too, right? That would probably
Yeah.
be the same thing.
How
But then he
tall?
would say
How
I,
tall?
right? Imagine he fucked up and he said, "Oh yeah, well I had shoes on then too." So how could you tell us? It's like you just admitted that you is I. You just said it.
How tall is Daryl Brooks actually?
I don't
Can
know.
anybody put that in the chat?
That's a good question.
Somebody's like, he looks 5'9" to me. He's on TV. Like,
Yeah, you
know.
can't tell on TV unless you know the height of somebody standing next to him or something.
Somebody look up his actual height and put it in the chat. Because if he's like 5'8.5" or 3/4, I'm gonna crack up.
Somebody's saying 5'7". I mean, 5'7", 5'9" is only a 2-inch difference. It's
Yeah,
not
that's not bad at all.
Yeah, that's a good guess to say 5'9", especially if
Peop-
you're over 6 feet. You're just guessing shorter than you.
People are saying 5'8". I'm gonna look it up.
On his license, I thought it said 5'8", someone said. Which is only an inch difference. What's the difference?
Oh my god. His registered. Yeah, okay. So he said 5'9", 160, right?
Uh-huh.
from seeing him in his backyard. He is listed at arrest at 5'8", 150 pounds.
Oh my God. So 10 pounds off, 1 inch off. That's pretty close. That's
I
an
rest
good
my
estimate.
case.
I think I could safely say that falls within the realm of an estimate.
Just look at his eyes. He's like bugging out about this.
He's like, would you say I look 5'9"? Like,
Yeah.
well, as somebody who's 5'8", yeah, I guess so. It's only an inch difference. Close enough.
Let's see if Daryl can bring this home.
5'9", 160 pounds. If you take your shoes off and step out of them, they could have a better.
I'm not going to
better
have them do that, but if you're able to answer that
Like,
question.
no, we're not going to do that.
Do you agree?
I'd
or
have to be
disagree?
standing next to him. That's what I made my judgment from. We were about 2 feet from each other.
Does it look like I'm 5'9"?
I don't know. We were a lot closer.
Does it look like I'm 160 pounds?
Well,
Grounds.
your weight
Relevant
changes.
As to his appearance today, just like his hair isn't in
Yeah.
dreadlocks today.
Yeah.
Sustained.
Objection.
Question.
Objection.
Grounds for the sustain.
Ground for the sustain.
When we shed artificial
Oh my
I can't
God.
believe this guy. And then, how is he going to argue that? Yeah, obviously his weight's going to change from then to today, especially while.
Well, it's
he's in
like
prison,
he doesn't
like,
even accept the
different.
possibility that it could change.
Yeah.
Like, which is amazing. But yeah, no, that's wild. There's like a video that says he argues over hearsay. I kind of want to see that. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, no, that was wild. Who is you?
Who is you? That was great.
That
Who is
witness
you? I'm
could
looking
not,
at you.
that witness could not have been better, by the way.
Yeah,
he
he
was
was
like, I'm
fantastic.
looking at you, bro. Like it was
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, he's like, you're asking me how I know it's you. I saw you that day, and I'm seeing you now, and you're the same person. You look with the same tattoo. You know, the worst, he even has a tattoo on his face. Like,
Somebody's like, are you saying I'm fat?
yeah, yeah. Right. Look at me now. Would you say I'm a fat person?
Oh, that one was good. That one was good. I gave credit for that. But this one is apparently he's arguing over hearsay, and I kind of want to see this.
Oh, he beat his girlfriend. There's another one that says Daryl Brooks beat his ex-girlfriend, then drove through Christmas parade. So right before he drove through the parade, he had beat his girlfriend. I didn't know that.
So he beat his girlfriend. He fled that scene. She called the cops on him.
That's what he was fleeing from. Okay.
Yeah.
That's how
so he wasn't fleeing the cops, but he was fleeing from the violence.
Right.
Like, you know, from the cops being called. Like, but he wasn't fleeing actual officers.
Right. Gotcha.
All right. So this is him arguing. It says confused Daryl Brooks. I don't like this. It says clear bias. Obviously, the Law and Crime channel is being biased right here because they're saying he's confused. But I think the whole court system is confused.
This whole trial is confused.
Mr. Brooks, before I have you question this witness any further, it sounds like to me that you are attempting to offer through this witness the statements made by Mr. Lascano. If that is what you are trying to do, you may not do that. You will have to call Mr. Lascano as a witness if you so choose, if he's on your witness list. But that your questions are seeking to elicit hearsay from this witness. That's why
who
I
is
had the
here
jury removed so I could explain my ruling and why.
She's like trying to catch her breath. Like, this is so infuriating for her. Like, you know how they say women have it rough? Like, they have to go through their regular work just to get clowned on. Like, that's this woman's life right here. She went out to law school, became a judge just to get clowned on by Brooks.
Dude. Yeah, and has to deal with this, dude.
I'm going to direct you not to ask this witness questions about what Mr. Lascano may or may not have said.
I'm reading directly from his report.
That would be double hearsay then, because it's not you need Mr. Lascano here to say what he told this officer. If you are attempting to offer it for the truth of the matter asserted, which is what I believe you are doing, you're attempting to establish the veracity of something Mr. Lascano either said or didn't say through another witness. That is hearsay.
So it's not hearsay for the prosecutor to bring up.
I'm not going to talk about other rulings. There's been an objection by the state, and I'm sustaining the objection, and I'm directing you not to ask this witness questions that would call for this witness to say what Mr. Lascano said. That is hearsay. That is textbook hearsay. Mr. Brooks.
What's the text?
Spirit for the
Yeah, right. Which textbook is that in?
Prosecution about along the lines of the same type
Yeah,
of thing.
I'm not going to have a debate on what may have.
He's literally like operating like a child. He's like, but the prosecution did this, and you didn't listen to my objection. Like you only get a certain amount of objections.
Yeah.
By the way, this makes the judge saying, "Oh, you did a good job today," asking relevant questions even more funny because this is what she's dealing with.
And then she had deals with this. And then that's why she congratulates him when he actually does do a good job. It's like, oh, you're actually learning. Good job.
Oh, you know what? I'm definitely gonna do that. Somebody just said, watch his motion to dismiss the case.
Oh, that's gotta be fun.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about with the suggestions, guys. All right. Oh my god, I'm so excited about that. There's so many good ones. All right, does anybody have the link to the motion to? Oh my god, no. Stop. There's so many good ones. He called the state of Wisconsin to testify as a witness. That can't be real. Why am I even shocked? Of course he did. All right. We definitely have to watch him calling the witness. And I mean the jury has to be in and out in like 10 minutes. Like the jury has to like probably go to the bathroom and then come back. Like so it doesn't look like they took it too long. But yeah, so we'll finish this hearsay thing, but then we gotta watch him call the state of Wisconsin. Or whatever.
Have come in previously. I know you've made a number of hearsay objections, many of which the answers that were being provided were not hearsay. But I would direct your attention to 908.01 of the Wisconsin statutes. You have that book in front of you that I provided to you a number of days ago at the beginning
He said
of
no.
this
He's
trial.
like, no.
This trial. There's the definitional section of the statutes, which defines.
Listen, it's one thing to try for murder. Try me for murder. It's another thing to make me read a book.
Yeah. You mean I gotta actually learn laws? Come on. It's too much.
How come you didn't tell the prosecutor to read a law book?
I didn't hear you pointing out no sections and no books to read on them.
Oh my god.
Hearsay. It also, and then if you go on to 908.
I know what hearsay is.
0.02.
Oh, sassy right there.
Obviously, one you may want to look at as well. And then 908.03 has the exception. So unless you can give me an exception, sir, as to why this witness should be allowed to answer those questions.
He's like directly from his report, the report that he wrote. Nothing is coming from. I'm reading directly from his report. That's what I have to say.
Doesn't change the fact that it's hearsay.
You said what?
That doesn't change the fact that it's hearsay.
So his report is hearsay?
Another level of hearsay. It's an out of court statement.
So
not this witness made, but what another witness made. So you have to.
So I can't read from his report that he wrote.
You can't ask this witness questions that call for a hearsay answer unless there's no objection from the state. Or you can convince me there's an exception to the hearsay rule that applies. Do you have an exception you'd like to offer to the court?
So I might as well not read the report that he wrote then if I can't question him about the report that he wrote.
Oh my god.
He's throwing a fit. He's throwing a fit like a child.
Yeah. He doesn't want to understand it either. And she's like explaining specifically the type of questions she can't ask about the report. But he's like, oh, so I just can't even read the report at all then. So I should have never even read it. What's the point?
Why would you even assign me this homework if you're not going to grade it?
Yeah. Yeah, basically. That's what he's saying.
That's your misunderstanding, sir, what is hearsay. And I all I can tell you is I'm sustaining the objection. I'm going to bring the jury back out, and we'll go from there.
You're getting railroaded, Brooks.
Clear bias. Clear bias.
Clear bias.
Mr. Brooks, I understand
I
you
don't-
may
I don't
disagree
consent to
with
or agree to
the,
being called that name. For the record, again, I'm here as a third-party intervener on behalf of my client. I don't know why that's not understood by now.
Oh my God.
My client. Oh, I hear them whisper.
Yeah.
My client.
They have 3 attorneys on the other side
So
of
I guess
this.
I can't bring up the plaintiff either, huh?
I can't bring up the plaintiff.
Tacit agreement.
Oh my God. All right. That's wild.
The plaintiff. He said.
I can't bring up no plaintiff neither.
Oh my God.
So he's not even representing Daryl Brooks. I mean, no, he is representing Daryl Brooks, but he's not Daryl Brooks. Very
But he's
interesting.
not, yeah. Strange. How long? Oh, when's the trial over?
Probably today, but
Close, right? I was
yeah.
reading before the description one of these videos said today was the end of the prosecution's case.
I gotta play this.
if jurors do not comply with these rules, it could result in a new trial involving additional time and significant expense to the parties and the taxpayers. You are to decide the case solely on the evidence offered and received at trial. With that, you are excused for the evening. We'll see you tomorrow morning. All rise for the jurors, please.
Oh, pulling a Nancy Pelosi.
Oh.
That's what I think about your order, Judge. Damn, thug
Yeah.
life right there.
Thug life. And now he's gonna eat it.
Throw it at her. I can't find the I can't find the video clip where he apparently asked for a mistrial. Like, I wish I could, but we're definitely gonna watch him call the state of Wisconsin to testify. That was some thug life move right there.
I like to call the state of Wisconsin to testify. The plaintiff.
I mean, you know, obviously.
Mr. Brooks, I'm reviewing this for completeness. And you have simply put on here, state of Wisconsin plaintiff is an entity. You have to name a person. Well, the date you will fill in. So I'll have it shown to the state and they can let me know their position on that.
Any legal basis why that would not be accepted, Your Honor?
You have to have a person named, sir, so that they can come and testify. You only have an entity named.
Is it not true that under the Sixth Amendment I have the right to face my accuser?
No, stop.
I have the right to face my accuser.
Oh,
But he means
my God.
literally like face to face my accuser. I cannot face my accuser if my accuser does not have a face, Your Honor.
Why, for the love of God, does Daryl Brooks have access to 4chan where he's getting all his legal advice from?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
r/law stuff.
r/how to sovereign citizen.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Mr. Brooks, let me hear from the state.
She's like, for the
Yes,
love
Your
of
Honor,
God.
I agree with the court's assessment. The subpoena does not state a person. The subpoena form specifically indicates that the person requesting the subpoena is to indicate the witness's name and address. Mr. Brooks has simply written the word state of Wisconsin plaintiff for the witness name. The state of Wisconsin is an entity. It's not a person. The state of Wisconsin cannot testify at these proceedings, so the subpoena should be rejected, Your
They
Honor.
cannot testify, Your Honor. Then how can they
Your
be
Honor,
accusing me?
on the grounds that
Oh my God, freaking ads, man. I want to hear Daryl Brooks's legal arguments, and these ads are coming in.
document that was filed in this matter stated that the state of Wisconsin was the plaintiff, which would lead me to believe that the state of Wisconsin is who's bringing the claim against my client.
My
How
client.
could they not be subpoenaed to testify if they're the plaintiff? And under the Sixth Amendment, I have the right to face my accuser. My accuser in this matter is the plaintiff, which is the state of Wisconsin. Attorney Offer also brought up that it didn't have an address on there. None of my subpoenas had addresses, as we went on the record, and that was stated that a lot of the paperwork that I have don't have a lot of the people's addresses on there. And those subpoenas were accepted, so I don't see the difference with this.
Chris, so his client is Daryl Brooks. He's not Daryl Brooks. He's a sovereign, and he's saying his client is Daryl Brooks. And he wants to face the person that is known as the state of Wisconsin.
And so he says, "Who's you?"
Subpoena not being accepted for the reasons that Attorney Opper just stated.
Mr. Brooks, in relation to that subpoena, based upon my review for completeness, this court would note you have not named a person, you've named an entity, and the subpoena will be kept on file as part of the court record, but I'm not going to require the state of Wisconsin to testify in this case.
Oh my God.
Well, when I file my appeal, I'm going to bring up that the state of Wisconsin never testified.
There's a mistrial because I was never allowed to face my accuser, which is against the Constitution.
Jesus Christ. The Sixth Amendment.
Rights.
Because they are an entity and you have not named a person.
Are they not? Or are they not the plaintiff, Your Honor?
They are the plaintiff in this case, sir.
And why are they not able to testify being that they
You've not named an entity, not a person. People are called to the witness stand to testify. You have had an opportunity to cross-examine every single person who has been called by the state to testify in this trial. I believe that your Sixth Amendment rights have been complied with.
not if I'm not allowed to face my accuser, Your Honor. My accuser in this matter would be the state of Wisconsin.
He's trying hard.
With all
So
due
I believe your
respect,
Sixth Amendment rights in that regard have been complied with.
I'm requesting a written judicial finding of fact and conclusion of law on this issue for the grounds that I just stated. It was seen based on the Sixth Amendment that I'm not being awarded the chance to face my accuser, which I should be awarded that based on the Sixth Amendment. If I'm not able to face my accuser, then how can the claim even stand?
Checkmate.
As if this has never happened before. There's never been a case where a state was represented on one side and the person was not allowed to face their accuser.
Oh, imagine if it was like the people versus Daryl Brooks. He's like, where is the people?
Unless I'm allowed to face every single citizen of Wisconsin one by one, then I cannot face the people of Wisconsin.
Oh my God, this is so wild. I mean, I get that these people exist and like they have stupid legal theories, but you know,
yeah.
Somebody says put a guy in the shape of Wisconsin as a wearing a suit that's the shape of the state of Wisconsin,
like a mascot of a Wisconsin dressed up like Wisconsin.
They should just bring in Aaron Rodgers, like they're like, he is Wisconsin, sir. Oh my God, he's really just going to argue this for 10 more minutes.
How can a claim be brought against my client if I'm not able to face the accuser?
So this case is a criminal case in a court of competent jurisdiction in the state of Wisconsin, Waukesha County. This case was initiated initially by the filing of a criminal complaint. Then there was a preliminary hearing where probable cause was found. After that point, there was an information that was filed. And at some point, an amended complaint, perhaps even a second.
Sorry, say that again, Alf.
I was saying these are like the normal processes that it goes through in a criminal trial. She's like explaining the basics of how you get to where we are now. And it's like you realize everything we went through right now to get to this point, right?
It's weirdly like a good lesson for like kids trying to learn law because she has to
Yeah.
explain the basics to him like he's a child.
Yeah, that's true. This is good for kids to watch and learn the basics. It's so crazy that this has to be explained to them.
Yeah, I want to find his motion for a mistrial. That is
Maybe it's
Yeah.
part of this. Maybe he's about to call it now, as he's saying, if I can't face my accuser, then this is a mistrial because it's unconstitutional.
Oh no, it was like a motion to dismiss.
Oh, okay. Oh, dismiss the trial. What? For what?
Like he just wanted to dismiss the charges, probably because
Because he can't face his accuser.
Oh my god. Apparently he at one point he gave a 50-minute rant during day 9 of the trial where he asked for the dismissal. I'm not watching that. Maybe another day. But yeah, let's hear about his accuser. Just look at her face, man. This poor woman.
Second amended complaint was filed as well, putting you on notice of the charges and the factual basis for those charges, along with the statutes that are alleged to have been violated.
Okay, so Catherine, so Daryl Brooks is representing himself, but he's also claiming that he is a sovereign or something, and he's representing somebody called Daryl Brooks that's not him. So, like, it's very confusing because he wants Wisconsin to be a person, but he also is saying that Daryl Brooks is not a person.
I'm not going to explain any further why you can't call the state of Wisconsin in the way that you've subpoenaed them or attempted to subpoena them for the reasons I've already stated. I understand where you might disagree with the court's ruling, but my ruling stands, and I'm not requiring the plaintiff in this case to serve that subpoena in any way for the defects I've already noted.
May I state for the record?
And I'm also not going to issue a written decision on that. The record speaks for itself.
Oh.
May I state for the record, Your Honor, that I have not even seen a complaint in this matter, and the jurisdiction still has yet to be proven, which is another thing that needs to be challenged. There has not been proven that there's subject matter jurisdiction as of yet. There's no verified proof of it. There's no verified proof of even a claim, especially if I'm not allowed to face my accuser. And I don't understand
Checkmate.
how you can make that judicial decision, Your Honor, when it's clear discrepancies in the paperwork of this matter. Like I said, I have yet to see jurisdiction be proven. It has not been proven. I have yet to see a complaint.
He's like, there's no jurisdiction. It has to be proven.
Oh my god.
This
Has
is
to be proven? What?
This is so amazing. Like, holy crap.
Yeah, no idea what he's talking about.
Was his SUV registered like with the state of Wisconsin? Like, like he has to understand this conceptually, right? But he like genuinely looks confused, and he genuinely thinks these arguments are going to work.
Yeah. Yeah, he really has no idea.
All right, we gotta wrap this up. But Jesus, Terrell, you're not doing too well.
I have not seen that.
The court has provided you with, I believe it was the second amended criminal complaint, along with the.
Your Honor, the Second Amendment has to do with guns. Oh my god. This is so wild.
Information that was provided to you previously and noted on the record. I've already addressed your motion to dismiss previously. I'm not going to revisit that. There's no
register.
Sorry, say it again.
They're saying his car is registered to his mom.
Oh, wow. So okay, maybe he didn't register. And look, you know what? Not guilty.
His mom's guilty. Put his
How
mom in
many
jail.
how many S's are in innocent is the only thing that he wants to. That's the only thing he needs to know.
The S in
Legal
STD
basis
is for
are
innocent.
requiring me.
Imagine the judge had to do like 10 times the paperwork due to his like million requests.
Yeah. Oh my God. She's got to take all his requests seriously. And
Yeah, exactly.
To do that, sir. The plaintiff in this matter has presented witnesses to establish venue. And again, as I've noted previously, it's a criminal case with criminal charges, with a second amended criminal complaint detailing the factual basis upon which these charges are based. We're a notice pleading state. And along with the information, you've been made aware of all of the charges and the penalties you face and the factual basis upon which the state has.
Oh, here comes another ad.
Oh my God.
Jesus, Law and Crime.
And it's like the ad is for the law offices of Darrell Brooks.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you run into a parade before? Call the law offices of Darrell Brooks.
Have you ever not faced your plaintiff?
Yeah, is your plaintiff and your trial the state, and you cannot face them. Call the law offices.
It's kind of. I mean, look, if it wasn't for the fact that he killed a bunch of people, like this would be really sad because obviously there's something way off about this guy.
Yeah.
In the middle of trial, your objections are noted. We will continue today with the jury trial.
For the record, may I respectfully move for an interlocutory declaratory appeal on this matter, Your Honor?
Your request is noted for the record. I'm not an appellate court, sir.
For the record, may I move to stay these proceedings until this instant matter is adjudicated by a court of competent jurisdiction.
Your request is denied.
Based on what law or fact, Your Honor?
Competent
I
jurisdiction.
previously addressed the issue, sir.
Oh,
based on law of the case.
Are you making a judicial determination that I'm not awarded my Sixth Amendment right to face my accuser?
I'm not making any such determination here today.
No.
All right.
What law or fact?
I'm going to turn to the district attorney's office. Do you have a witness available?
Yes, we're ready to proceed, Your Honor.
All right, our jurors here. All right.
What law or fact says that I can't ask for the state of Wisconsin to show up? I like how he asks random witnesses too, and he's like, "Did the state of Wisconsin reach out to you personally to testify?"
Oh my God.
All right, let's see if we can get to the end of this.
The jurors will be brought out, sir.
Your Honor, with all due respect for the record, you're avoiding my questions.
Mr. Brooks, I've addressed the issues that need to be addressed this morning. I've also addressed the same issues probably every day we've been in court. I know you may be dissatisfied with the response that I'm providing to you, but my responses stand.
It's not a dissatisfaction, Your Honor. It's a lack of understanding, which I don't have. I don't even understand the true nature and cause of the charges.
That's your own fault.
You've been made
Your
aware of
fault.
them
You're
multiple-
representing yourself. That's your own
I
fault.
understand
I
is what I'm saying.
encourage you once again, if you don't understand anything, to seek the advice of an
Yeah.
attorney.
You didn't want to.
I cannot give you legal advice.
I'm not asking for that, Your Honor.
Don't
I'm really asking.
don't
why
disrespect
are my
me, Your Honor.
constitutional rights being prejudiced? It states under the Sixth Amendment that I have the
Sir, I've
right.
already addressed this.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we've already addressed
I'm not going to have any further argument on this topic. All right, your Sixth Amendment rights are being.
Let's just point out that she's dead wrong about not having any further argument on this topic.
From him, yeah.
This will be brought up throughout the course of the trial, Your
Yeah.
Honor. No, I think somebody's like she's regretting calling him a good boy. I think this clip is from before she said he was doing good. But remember, at one point he was taking off his shirt and shoes.
No, it wasn't because she at the end of that she told him to start wearing a suit, right? And he's
Oh
wearing a suit, so
yeah.
it's from before this.
Yo, you just established the time that the state of Wisconsin didn't
You
have.
see, I'm a better lawyer than him already. You see?
Look at that.
He should have me represent him.
He's gonna sue me for defamation.
If I was representing him, I'd win it because I'd be like, "Is the state of Wisconsin 5'9"? Because perhaps that witness was looking at the state of Wisconsin in his yard and not me, and not Tara Brooks."
He's like, he's what you go like. He's gonna keep going. They're trying to bring the jury in. The jury's like standing outside because obviously the jury can't hear this, and he just won't shut up.
Honored. No differently than any other defendant that has appeared in my court.
Have any other defendant not been awarded the opportunity to face their accuser?
You are facing your accuser, sir. Every single witness who's been on this stand, you have cross-examined.
None of those witnesses are making a claim. None of those witnesses are the plaintiff. None of those witnesses are identified as the injured party. An injured party has to make the claim, Your Honor.
Injured party?
It's my opinion that
Oh my God.
Now he's changing it. See, he's losing control. Now he's changing it. It doesn't have to be an injured party. It just has to be a plaintiff, right?
He's about to say a living, breathing person. It's like, so this guy doesn't think that you can be arrested for murder.
Yeah, basically. Because the person's dead and can't accuse you of murder. That doesn't make sense.
Not to mention, he hit like 100 people with the car.
Yeah, they all supposed to pack into the box and be questioned as one entity.
Like, even if they didn't get him for murder, like if you were to just add up what you could get for for 100 counts of aggravated vehicular assault, which is what this was, then he would be done. Somebody's like, yes, no, he's actually saying like dead people can't testify and the state of Wisconsin needs to appear.
Oh God.
77 charges they're saying he's facing. Yeah, dude, come on.
your belief as it relates to that is mistaken. It's not a lawful argument and it's frivolous. I've directed your attention once again to the.
I wish he would say you're frivolous.
Yeah, you're frivolous.
Beneby decision.
Is that not a federal case, a United States?
You're asking me for legal advice. I'm not going to provide that to you, sir.
I'm just asking what kind of case it was. Was it federal Supreme Court case?
It's a 7th Circuit Court of Appeals case. We're in the 7th Circuit, sir.
But you just stated that you're not a Court of Appeals. So, but you're citing a Court of Appeals case.
Court of Appeals case law.
How could you cite something that you isn't?
Yeah, right. Well, you're citing the state of Wisconsin. Can I see that citation from the witness that is the state of Wisconsin?
Where is the state of Wisconsin? Yeah. It's just another ad. They're just killing it with these ads. I'm muting all your ads. Like, nobody's going to see your advertisements. All right, let me go back to where I was. You just said you wasn't a court of appeal. It's like, no, this isn't a court of appeal. I'm a judge. Do you not understand these concepts, sir? He really doesn't. He really doesn't get it. I got a $20 super chat. It says, "Too bad that in Clown World we couldn't have Dr. Fleaba Flamma Floba represent Alex Jones." Keith Gard. Yo, this guy should have represented Alex Jones.
Yeah, maybe he would have done a better job, right?
Who is a worse defendant, Alex Jones or Darrell Brooks?
Oh God. Probably Darrell Brooks because he's also defending himself. Alex Jones is at least smart enough to have a lawyer.
No. I mean, Alex didn't comply with discovery. You know what I found out about the Jones case? This is wild. So Alex Jones submitted a slap motion in the state of Connecticut to limit the scope of discovery because he was a media outlet, right?
Right.
He won that motion. So like what they could ask for was limited by the court in the state of Connecticut. He still didn't comply with discovery.
Oh my God.
And that's why he got the default judgment. Somebody said Alex Jones should defend Darrell Brooks.
There's a red flag, Your Honor.
You see, the environmentalists are going after the SUVs in order to push their global warming agenda.
The
It's
turn of the SUV is
depopulation.
gay.
All right, Daryl, let's wrap this up, man.
To this court, sir. I'm bound by legal precedent from the various courts that are above me.
And you're still not explaining how I'm not able to face my accuser, which is my Sixth Amendment constitutional
Wow,
right.
she
Sir, I'm not
explained
going to
it like
explain the
7
law
times.
to you. I've made my decision. It
Yeah.
stands.
And she's like, I have.
I'm not arguing that part of it, Your Honor. I'm just merely
Do it to
stating
jurors
for the
come out?
record.
Yeah, I heard the door.
Okay, the record. It was stated. It's on the record. We got it. And my
He's
answer's on the
obsessed.
record.
He's obsessed with stating for the record.
Yeah.
No, this is like a 12-minute clip. And the thing is this came up today. He asked the witness today about this. Somebody says, wait, why did Alex provide more documents than any media defendant in history? So to my knowledge, Alex Jones was providing redacted financials because he didn't want to reveal that stuff. But Alex did end up sharing a bunch of information inadvertently when his lawyer's attorney sent a copy of his phone.
Right. And a bunch of stuff that he didn't know was on there that was going to come out and came out by accident.
To have Brooks rep Jones. And to be clear, I'm talking about, I know specifically he won a slap thing in the Connecticut case. I don't know about, because he filed under Connecticut slap suit law. So I don't know about whether or not he was compelled to reveal more in the Texas cases.
Thank you.
I'm merely stating for the record that I should be awarded my Sixth Amendment right to face my
Your
accuser.
objection is noted, sir, once again. We'll continue this morning. Thank you.
None of the witnesses that testified are the accuser. None of the witnesses that testified
They
are
represent the accuser.
the injured party, which the claim has to be made by a living, breathing human being.
Sir, I think you're confusing civil law with criminal law.
He legitimately thinks that you can't be arrested for murder.
Yeah, like how does that make sense? This is some sort of like serious lack of self-awareness. You know how many millions of murder cases have come before you, bro? You think this has never come up?
I don't know about this.
Oh my God.
So somebody's saying, how did Alex not wipe his phone? So if you wipe your phone, then that's like destruction of evidence. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's good that Alex didn't wipe his phone.
Yeah.
And by the way, as I said in my video, like, even though I was saying certain claims could go forward to the trial phase, like they were enough to not be dismissed as not defamation, Alex could have won his case. He didn't really fight his case.
And he didn't listen to his lawyer and outbursted and said shit all the time, or spoke before his lawyer could speak for him, you know.
Yeah, I mean, but that's all like, you know, whatever. But he didn't fight it, as in like he didn't do discovery and then they declared a default judgment against him.
Right, yeah. He should have done
so,
that.
You know,
sure.
That's what
No,
I'm
I'm
saying.
confusing. I'm not confusing any law. The Constitution says that I have the right to face my accuser. And under the Sixth Amendment, I'm not being awarded that constitutional right. I think that definitely needs to be on record, and that definitely is an issue that needs
Your
to be
objection's
raised.
noted, sir. If you believe I've erred in that regard, you can raise that issue on appeal if you are convicted.
May I put Your Honor on notice that I intend to appeal that decision?
Your statement's noted for the
Sure,
record.
but this isn't the appeal period. To appeal things.
you is put on notice, Your
You
Honor.
put on notice. I'm gonna send you a citation and a subpoena to your house for this appeal.
I like how she had to say if convicted. You know she was going to say when convicted. Like that's what she's thinking, but she has to be unbiased. Imagine he messed up so badly that she said when convicted, and then he has a legitimate appeal because he's like biased from the judge. This is my flat Earth defense, Daryl Brooks.
Flat Earth defense.
Oh my God.
How can I drive around a car if the Earth is flat? Yeah, this guy's incredible.
Is that
Is that
it?
a judicial determination? I will not be able to face my accuser, Your Honor.
I have not made any such determination, sir.
Will you be making a judicial determination?
Sir, I have not made any kind of determination that your Sixth Amendment rights have been violated. On the contrary, I believe this court has honored those rights.
Even with me not being able to face my accuser, which is the state of
Your position
Wisconsin.
is noted.
Oh my god. It's like your ignorance to what her response to you say that is not the court's fault.
Honestly, like if this guy didn't commit a crime, he could have been a lefty debater.
Yeah.
Just he could have been Jesse Lee Peterson. Like how Jesse Lee Peterson refuses to not ask the question until
true.
you
He just
answer it.
keeps repeating over and over.
So you won't ask the question. You won't answer the question.
Yes, sir.
Is
It's
that a
noted for the
judicial?
record. I've already addressed it.
Is that a judicial determination?
Judicial determination.
Sir,
No.
the record speaks for itself.
Is that a judicial determination?
All right, I believe the jurors are coming out. All rise, please.
Is that a judicial?
Are you going to answer that, Your Honor? Or is that a tacit agreement?
No.
I'm not going to answer that. For
No.
But I've answered it multiple times.
Perfect.
Is it a tacit agreement?
Oh my god, he just keeps going.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was.
apparently this is the clip where he says he's a third-party intervener.
Oh my god.
Do business differently.
Yo, Daryl Brooks needs to stop being so entertaining.
Yeah, look at
Trying
all
to
these
ra-
ad money he's getting.
I know. I know.
After this, let's wrap it up. I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, definitely. I was ready to wrap it up after that one, but then they got me with the suggestions. The YouTube algorithm's too strong.
You're getting into that autoplay loop.
Well, I have autoplay shut off because I hate it.
Suggestion holes.
Yeah.
Where you just keep clicking on.
I'm going down the YouTube rabbit hole, like the pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going down. Law and Crime is sending me down the sovereign citizen pipeline.
I love those videos though. Some of those are real funny.
Court will call State of Wisconsin versus Daryl E. Brooks, case number 21 CF 1848.
Oh, she said it right there.
May I have the appearances, please?
Yes, good morning, Judge Sue Apple, Leslie Basie, and Zach Witchow appearing for the state of Wisconsin.
I want the record to know
Good
I
morning,
take
sir. Please
offense
state your name
to
for
that
the
name.
record.
I'm here as a third-party intervener in that matter, appearing as authorized representative for my client. I accept for value and return for value all of the charging instruments in this matter and make my exemption available for discharge of all obligations and charges connected with this case. I do not dispute any of the facts in these charging instruments, and I do not consent to or agree to being called their name.
All right, the record should reflect that the individual known to this court as Daryl Brooks is appearing in person in custody. He is also in civilian or street clothing, in a suit and tie, also wearing a mask. Mr. Brooks, I know today you're also not wearing.
Oh, nice. She's describing what he's wearing. Maybe he had a shot. Somebody's like he could be blackwash. True.
Headsets. I just want to make a record. Yesterday, they were offered to you, even charged. The different charging unit was provided. I did not see you wearing the headset at any point in time. And from my perspective, given your either legal arguments made, comments to the court, or questioning of witnesses that you were able to hear. But I just feel it important, given that you raised that issue, to put that on the record. I do want to address the case law that was filed by Mr. Brooks. I have a question, sir, because you had indicated there was this United States v. Lopez. I had looked up a case. I don't know if it's the one that you were referring to. I asked you if it was 1995. You thought it was. Have you been able to look through your documents to tell me which United States versus Lopez?
Oh, he's citing court cases.
I also cited Higgins versus Levine as well.
Oh, look at this guy.
Damn.
Fighting law. Look at this guy. Starting past.
I was able to find Higgins versus Levine, and
Oh, look at that. He's more educated on the law than her. She can't even find the cases.
See, that's why she doesn't even know that he has the right to face his accuser. And they
Yeah.
can't. There's no accuser.
Why'd she go to law school? Daryl Brooks got his education on Facebook.
This is against the Constitution. I should be allowed to face my accuser.
I would also like to cite the Geneva Convention, Your Honor.
I also found a case that is captioned United States versus Lopez at 514 US 549. That's a case from, it was decided in 1995. It had to do with the
What do you think this had to do with? Like, is it even the issue at hand, or is it something completely different?
No, I bet it's not. I bet it doesn't have to do with something about him being a third party intervener, I guess.
Well, I'm just saying it might be like it might be a completely, so he's doing Sixth Amendment claims. It might be something completely different.
So, yeah, I'm sure it has nothing to do with what he's trying to use it for.
Yeah.
Part with the
jurisdiction.
no, it had to do with a provision in the federal statutes regarding the gun safe free zone and whether that was constitutional or not. It was a criminal case, but nonetheless, that was one of the major issues in that case. So I don't know if that's the case you were referring or not. And without a citation, it's asking you if you have any other information about that case.
I can possibly look on a break, but my understanding of that particular case was dealing with the specifics of subject matter and personal jurisdiction, which is why it was brought up for the record, which is something that I have been doing.
It is back to the Sixth Amendment thing.
Yeah, I know, but he cited a gun safe case.
Oh my God!
Proof of jurisdiction, which I have not been provided with.
Oh my God! All right, I can't go through this again. Like, it's too much. Like,
I have not been provided with enough evidence of jurisdiction. Oh
it's only 5 minutes, and I'm like, I have to pick up the fiance and like that, and I have to make dinner. So like this guy, of course he cited. So he's arguing a jurisdictional issue, and he cites a criminal case involving a requirement with a gun safe.
Yeah, what does that guy possibly have to do with anything?
Because he heard of it on Facebook. It's like when people post that. They post that thing where Facebook
and stuff, yeah, like you're saying.
Yeah, no, but the stuff when people, you know, when people share that post on Facebook where it says I own the copyright to my Facebook, and like you read it and it has references to like, you know, German law from 1910 that has nothing to do, obviously, with social media. It's wild. Oh my God, this is crazy. All right, but Alf, thank you for coming and staying for so long.
No problem. Thank you for having me on. It's fun.
But you guys can find Alf Benny over at Alf Benny, the YouTube channel. He recently got a community guideline strike that was totally uncalled for, unwarranted
for like another week.
Yeah, but you can see his mashup that came out today, which was actually hilarious. The song in the middle of it, which I was like, you should make it to a short, and now you can't.
I can't for a week at least.
Because he got a strike for like the intro, maybe, right? Because they didn't tell you what it was.
I don't know. It was from the 10th one. They say it's for inciting violence or something. And I looked through it, and I don't know what they're talking about. I have no idea.
Yeah.
What it could possibly be. I appealed it, telling them like it would be nice if you guys could just tell me like exactly where the violation is, so I could just take it out, you know, and re-upload it. But they don't tell you.
Well, you got to tell them that it wasn't a violation. You can't ask them where it was.
Oh, I did that too. I said I said I was confused as to where the violation is. I looked through the video, not seen any type of incitement of violence at all. And I said, there's movie clips in there. It could possibly be from that in the intro, but I don't know. Besides that, they never really tell you, so it's not like you're gonna know. It's you know.
True.
I guess I'll have to put that video up somewhere else.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you for coming. Go to Alf Benny on YouTube.com. I'll add in his links later into the stream. Check out his latest mashup. It's on my community tab if you need help finding it. Daryl Brooks, I think he's going to be found not guilty on all charges. What about you, Alf?
I think it's actually going to be dismissed.
lack of jurisdiction.
Yeah. They're going to realize it's a violation of his constitutional right to face his accuser, and they're going to dismiss the trial.
No state of Wisconsin not showing up. No case.
Yeah, no case. The accuser never showed up to court. Yeah.
All right. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Later, guys. Bye.